live. Streaming live, West Palm Beach, Florida.
All right, welcome and thank you for joining us here at the Palm Beach Kennel Club in beautiful West Palm Beach, Florida. Located at 1111 North Congress Avenue, across the street, conveniently located from the Palm Beach International Airport. I'm Matt F., and joining me is
Andrew.
All right, and we're going to bring you our final table of our $250 buy-in double green chip bounty 10K guaranteed tournament. And we're going to get off to a little bit of an early start, and we're going to jump right into the action as we have our 9 players. And there you see the chip stacks. It's Robbie and then everybody else. So we'll see how this goes.
I feel like we've had plenty of action at this point, seeing as we're already down to the final table. It seems like Robbie has had plenty of action, seeing as he has about just as much chips as the rest of the table combined.
Yeah, he definitely taking the concept of the bounty tournament very seriously.
It would be very interesting if he had 0 bounties.
Right, it's with that chip stack.
Well, it's super rare, but
he's
still seems
definitely gone headhunting today.
Yeah. I really want to know. I want to ask him how many he's got.
All right, Andrew, not you, with the ace-9, and Matt, not me, with ace-deucey. And there's an ace.
I didn't even notice. That's funny.
Right, just
Andrew versus Matt. I know who I'm voting for.
Wow.
Matt.
4,000.
Sucker for an underdog, huh? Big underdog is Matt. With that ace to come out, Jack. Okay. That gives Matt more outs.
That's been in the driver's seat this whole hand, right? He raced pretty
he had 2 outs. He still only has 2 outs. The rest of those outs are chop outs.
I was going to say he's got some opportunities there if the board pairs 7 or 3.
And the chat's firing up already. Ann in Florida says hi. Johnny Saavedra says go Richie.
There it is.
And there's a chop out.
Unless for some reason Andrew can bet
Right.
off his hand, this is going to be a
A's
chop.
and trays with the J.
It's going to be a chop high percentage of the time unless he bets something big. That's please call me value bet.
It certainly is.
It's a chop. Can Matt
It's
fire?
a chop if
Can
he
Matt
calls.
Can Matt push Andrew off the chop? I wonder. Nope, maybe he's just going to flat. He's got flatting chips in his hand.
What would Arnold say if he was here? He'd say, do it. Why don't you do it? Come on, get the chips in the air.
Show me your leadership capabilities. What if Matt is actually thinking about pulling the trigger? Yeah, he's just going to call it.
There he
Chop,
is.
chop, chop.
Run, go, get to the chopper. Not the wug. There's a ferret. Your new ending says, are y'all live streaming tonight also? That would be no, as far as I know.
There's a nighttime tournament that will not be live streamed.
Yes, we're not going to stream that one. What time is that? I believe it starts at
6-ish, 6:15.
Yeah, 6 o'clock. Yeah, we have had the day and night shows, but typically that's for bigger events like the Moneymaker Tour or perhaps the monthly multi-flight.
Yeah, our morning dailies are the ones that usually get streamed on the weekends.
So Robbie with 10 tray, but he didn't get those chips by playing reckless. Insta-muck.
Got a whole lot of folding going on.
Yeah, not a lot. Even worth playing.
Andrew
with the
on the
ace rag,
wants
yeah.
to limp in the button.
That's the best hand we've seen
Well,
in this round.
I just feel like any ace on the button, it's folded around to you. It's worth a little bit of a raise. He actually would have taken it down. I don't think Richard is going to defend too often with the 7-4 off.
He's like, give me the chip.
There it is, that one.
Oh, and in Florida it says, I could have sworn I said what the game was in the intro. This is our double chip bounty tournament. $250 buy-in, no
You know-
limit hold'em. I didn't say that part, to be
We
fair.
did mention that in the intro.
So, but it is no limit hold'em. Basically, it's whenever you.
Typically,
I believe you
we don't-
did, not me.
No, yeah,
'cause
but
you got
that's-
here before I did.
No, but that's on the Twitch title. I don't even think we have any. I don't even think we have touched our YouTube
Oh,
channel
'cause
in
of
quite a bit.
YouTube. Okay.
this
No,
is
I get
YouTube
what you're
status,
saying
yeah.
now. Okay, 'cause she's on YouTube.
So we are restreaming. We are using a restream app which allows us to multi-platform stream on both Twitch and YouTube. We tend to. I don't know. I don't think we tend to pay attention to our YouTube channel. See, our Twitch channel right here, it does say title is the 250 buy-in.
Right,
Double
that's
bounty
what
10K
I think.
guarantee. Now, I don't even know if I don't. Do we have access to the YouTube channel?
I don't think
haven't
so.
seen it.
I think we need Josh to do that, but I am not positive on that. Yeah, I can't get into it.
Either way, as we've mentioned, this is our morning daily Saturday tournament. 250 buy-in, double green chip bounty, 10K guarantee.
Yeah, I don't have the access to the actual YouTube account, so I can do nothing.
No, we're
With
winging it
that.
as usual. That's what we do around here. We wing it.
I have access to the Twitch.
Yeah.
Account board, but it says exactly that on our Twitch stream. If you're on YouTube, this is our $250 buy-in double green chip bounty tournament, 10K guarantee. This is our final table.
41 players
Yep,
for the day. 9 left.
and then there were 9. It says, "Oh, Richard." It was Richie before, but now it's Richard. So maybe he prefers Richard.
Bunch of limping.
He's all in with King Queen suited. I don't hate it.
Richard gonna take. He's just punishing limpers at this point. I mean, it's a pretty decent hand.
Right. It's
It's gonna be hard.
Ruben's got the better flush draw, but
It's gonna be hard to defend
ace
with
fi-
ace 5
yeah,
off.
it
You're,
is.
you're
I
crushed
mean,
so often when you
2K versus
Good play.
44K. That's a 22x.
strong arm play from Richard there. Take down some free
Well,
balls.
yes, Ann, we know you're a YouTuber. It's you're in our restream with that icon, but as I said before, I cannot access the account of our YouTube. That's something that our boss. That's all Josh.
We're happy to answer any questions that
Right.
you have.
So I cannot change that header, unfortunately.
I don't even know what it says. I guess I can check. Let's find out.
Right. No, I think it just says PBKC live poker action.
Oh, the most
from-
vague of
Right.
vague.
I think.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen the YouTube in a while.
Yeah. Chip count. Look at the chip counts. 999, 88, 5555. Robbie, 46% of the chips. Robbie just
Right.
absolutely crushing this tournament right now. It's the Robbie show for now.
It's his world. We're just living in it. Your new ending says, is this tournament every Saturday or just for this month? No, typically it is every Saturday unless it is preempted by either the monthly multi-flight or the Moneymaker Tour. So if one of those
Correct.
two events aren't going on, yes.
This is our regular Saturday
We
morning.
have our Saturday tournament, our double green chip bounty tournament. It's a bit of a different format. It encourages a lot more headhunting and a lot more aggressive play towards the short stacks. Because in addition to all of their chips, which is obviously good to have in a poker tournament, you also get a bounty for each player you eliminate. It says, looking forward to watching this entire game. Well, we're here the entire game. We had 41 players today. We're down to 9, and we're going to be bringing you all the action.
We should have a bounty counter. It should be like every name has like a bounties next to them. That would be sweet.
Pretty sure Robbie's got most of them.
If I had to guess, yes. Robbie's got all of them.
Well, I don't think he has all of them, but let's see how many have been eliminated.
30,
Yeah.
32-ish.
My math is failing. 32. And given the stacks,
Andrew picking up. He had a pair, now he's got a pair and a flush draw. He's got some equity in the hand.
so
Oh, ace.
I'm going to put the
Oh,
over-under
ace
on Robbie's
high.
bounties at 19 out of 32. I think that's a fair over-under.
I think it goes slightly under with like 17.
Okay.
Jane gets
Is that right
there.
now or before it's over?
Oh,
Because
no,
he
by
might
the
have 8
time
more.
yeah.
Right. With
By the
that
time
chip
it's
stack.
over, he's going to have at least 3 or 4 more, I'm sure. Jane gets there.
Right, yes. With our regular tournaments and when we're not doing like bigger events, Ann says she always watches because she knows a lot of the players. There's a lot of the usual suspects at our final tables.
There's a lot of regular players that play in all of our tournaments. I know I can think of 5 players who are in every single tournament that we have.
Like
every
Kaiser
day.
Soze.
I do find a lot of people in the South Florida
Right.
tournament scene seem to be the ones who like to watch and engage with us here as we stream live.
They like to watch. Queen 10 against King Queen. Might get some action here. Matt and Andrew again.
Matt, I was going to say, Matt could raise, but he also could fold. He folded. He didn't even limp. Andrew going to raise. King Queen suited.
I like it. 10-4 and 10-5. I don't like those. Robbie, thank you, Robbie, for
no
that
set mining?
snap folding the ducks.
Robbie knows set mining. No bounty hunting. Also not getting out of line. That's good to see Robbie. not
Right,
getting
he's
out of line.
got all the chips. He's sitting there. He's chilling.
Yeah.
He's coiled up like a snake.
Honestly, he looks bored.
waiting for his time to strike.
Yeah, he looks drowsy. Robbie, wake up, bud. Have a coffee, man.
No, he's wide awake. Don't even worry about him. Chip stack like that. No way you're gonna nod off.
Not the first time Robbie's had a chip stack, and I feel like he's just... It looks like he's just killing time.
I wonder which card Richard saw first. Because I always try to contain my excitement when I look at my cards. Like if I pull them up one at a time and like king, and then I'm like, all right, let me get something.
Slow, you get the deuce.
Let
You're
me
like, ugh.
let me see if I get something with this. Oh,
Love when that happens.
like I can't play this. 65 hunch from Robbie with his queen jack suited.
Yep. Robbie here opens Queen Jack of Diamonds. Brian going to defend from the small, the suited ace, and Jane going to come along for the ride, getting a good price from the big blinds.
King 10, ace 5. We got some good uns. Well, they were good uns, but then that happened.
Robbie flops the best. Brian makes a pair.
Robbie, after that flop,
This is an easy C bet from Robbie.
he's the best.
Down
All right.
bet, down bet to 6. That is a very inviting.
That's a very come hither, yeah,
That's a very
kind of.
inviting price. Almost 5 to 1, getting like 4.5 to 1 on your.
Come on, Bennett. I've only got one arm. You can beat me.
Not the
But
flop
we don't
Brian
see
was
Bennett
looking
at the
for.
final table, so I never get to use those jokes.
Bennett. Yeah, he doesn't do final tables. He doesn't live stream final tables.
Well,
Can't blame him.
sure I can. On to the next. Well, Josh is almost positive to get that message there, Ann, in Florida. Even when he doesn't make his presence known, he's usually lurking.
We'll have to give Josh.
Yeah.
Give Josh a ring and let him know that maybe we could have access to the YouTube channel, because there are people who pay attention to that.
Right.
Also, I like the Triton. I like the Triton tournaments. They're very clean looking. The Triton live streams are very nice.
Noise.
Come on, all right, it's time for a good old-fashioned cooler. Three-way all in. Mike just pitched a.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. If the hand's misread, then I already know why.
Ruben folding, snap folding. That's flat tire.
Oh, we don't have
Jack
a lot
4,
of
Jack 5.
hands.
Yeah, the
We
Jack.
got
Well,
no
Jacks are
hands.
dead.
Jane with a hand. Let's see
I was
how she
gonna
plays
say,
ace
Jane.
king.
Hope Jane isn't counting on that Broadway draw. It's pretty dead.
65. What are the blinds? Oh, 15.
Matt, not me, folds the mystery hand. Andrew with an ace-4. Yeah, it's when you've already
Gonna
got the
defend.
big blind in there, it's hard to fold that in that spot.
Yeah.
Even though he's
Getting
pretty
about
far behind.
Getting like 4 to 1. It's worth it. If you really want to go the conservative tight route, you just stay out of the trouble and fold. But I think it's defendable from the big blind. Of
Continuation
course,
bet from
with the
Jane.
flop and
Yeah.
next hand.
Snap folding.
Nothing exciting happening yet. Everybody seems very much locked in.
Yeah, a bit tentative. It's like everybody is waiting for everybody else to make a mistake.
Well, I know when a final table begins, which we did start from the final from the beginning of the final table. It's like you know, everybody's like you said. Nobody
Right.
wants to make the first mistake. Nobody wants to be the first one to bust. Everybody's just kind of pecking and probing, picking their spots. Eventually, we'll see a nice, good old-fashioned showdown. Queens versus ace king suited or something along the lines of that. Here's an ace
Straight,
queen.
9 tray. Ooh, no leg. Ooh, we might get some. We might get some pain on this one. Ace queen, queen
Julio.
jack suited.
Julio opens 6-3
Yeah.
suited. That's an interesting play. Jane gonna just call with what I think is sometimes 3-bettable.
Wow, they did not give me a tournament list.
Well, what's the tournament for tonight? It's a
Yeah.
it's a rebuy tournament.
Oh, the Saturday night rebuy. The rebuy is
30
how
buy-in
much?
with
The $20 rebuys.
$10 add-on, $20.
Okay.
You could do the 10 or 20 option.
Yeah, I used to know that, like right off the top of my head, because I worked nights for like a decade, but then they moved me to the day shift. So.
So how quickly you have forgotten.
Yeah. I wouldn't say quickly. It was when we came back from COVID. That was like a couple years ago.
How gradually you have forgotten. Look at how Julio gets there with his
2
6-3.
per. Wow, 2 per.
Ruben's open-ended. Jane has an ace. I think there's a little bit
In
of
all
something
these
for-
hands, nobody has a spade, so nobody can draw to that
Right,
flush.
And that's why everybody checked the flop. I think everybody wanted to
Steffi Mo says, "Hey boys, yeah, Robbie folded your pocket deuces instantly."
Snap muck. Snap muck deuces.
Well, you can say that about our dealer. We're not going to say that. That's going to be a you thing. So it's Jane. Jane needs an ace, 8, or queen.
Bink. That's
And no nada.
That's a brink. That's a brink. That's a
Julio
brink.
with 6-3. Nobody saw 6-3 coming.
4-5 would have got there.
Especially me. Ooh, and Jane's going to pay for the information, and she's not going to like it.
I think there was a lot of spots where Jane could have raised, and she chose not
Like
to.
dag-nabbit.
She just kind of let him get there, unfortunately. Julio picked a spot very well.
I'll be setting up
Gets paid off. Value bet on the river.
lessons later today.
She is now. she's needling him with the 3-6 suited.
You could have just asked this young man right here. He would have told you.
Hey, you can say what you want about how people play their hands. If they're stacking chips, it's for my money. That's where the smack talk ends.
No, I said ask about.
Like I said, she missed some opportunities to bet him off the hands.
All right, so it's 5s for Robbie. He's been kind of quiet here with that chip stack. Hasn't really tried to bully anybody so far.
He's got a pair. He's been
But,
playing pretty standard.
But we'll see.
He's got the chips to splash around. He's got a pair under the gun. It's saying, "Come and get it, boys," and everybody folds.
I just saw myself.
Even Richard, he's gonna squeeze again. You're gonna look at the king, and squeeze, and see the 3, and be disappointed.
Yeah, that's my move. That's my move right there when I have king rag or ace rag or something like that. You look at that
the
first
first
one and you're
card.
like, okay, let's see what we got.
Please have something to go with it. You're like, let me get an ace or a
Like,
king or a queen to go with it.
Let me
Here's
get
the 3.
something. It doesn't have to be, pocket
It's a
pair,
3.
but get in.
King 10 suited.
Give
would
me,
be sweet.
give me something
King 10
suited. Give me
yeah.
something
King
that I can
Jack,
make
King
a
queen. There's a bunch of cards I'd like to go with it. 3 is not one of them.
to make a straight, maybe make a flush, something. But
A
K
3.
Trey and says this is the smartest, best looking table. I think I can make it just a little bit better looking. Yeah. What are you doing way over there?
Is she calling our poker players attractive?
Well, hey,
Or is it the table felt itself, which is very nice and clean. I like the little Moneymaker Tour logo. It's pretty clean.
Yeah.
Melanie, I don't think I've seen her put chips into the pot yet.
No, yeah, they just had the graphic up for the VPIP, and she was at a 0.
So that's
So
why I haven't
that'll
seen her. Yep,
that'll
do it.
come up a little bit next time we
Jane
see it.
Again gets ace queen. This time suited.
Ace
Decided not
queen.
to 3-bet.
Robbie with 10-7. Old bar poker buddy of mine swore by that hand. That was his hand, 10-7.
There
No,
it is.
maybe that's why.
Robbie flops best with top pair. Checked around.
Super
6 on the turn.
now.
Now Robbie knows he has the best hand. I think he's time to bet here. Get some value. Yep.
Make him chase that draw.
10-5.
Both ladies are drawing.
Melanie with 2 overs and a gutty. She's going to see a river. Jane has whiffed this one
Yeah,
completely.
the flush draw is
and
dead. Needs an ace. Not worth the
Big-
chase. Oh, and there's the ace.
Well,
Sickening.
ace doesn't help when you fold it on the turn.
Oh.
But this is a good card for Melanie to bet.
Melanie's going
Yeah.
to try to steal it here.
It's a good card for her. She was a brief flop raiser. It looks a lot like she would have an ace in her
15K.
hand.
Yeah, 15K as well.
That's such a small bet into a, what, a 50K,
Yeah,
48K
but still,
pot.
it's
That's
enough.
a please call me value bet. And, I mean,
It's making Robbie think about it.
it's cheap enough for Robbie to be like, I want to see what you got. Robbie wants to save chips. He'll just be like, all right, you probably have it. I fold. I could see this going one of 2 ways. He could make a curious call. Here it is, cheap enough. Or he could say, I believe you, and fold.
Seeing pay-per-view. We're going to pay for a little information.
She's got the nut no pair. Maybe she does think it's actually good. Yeah, Robbie's going to see it. Yeah.
Going to pay for the info. I don't think she thinks
Yeah.
she's good.
No.
Yeah, that look right when he called was all
Yeah.
like, dag nabbit.
You're very likely to not be good when
Yeah,
somebody
hand.
calls a river bet. I just think if you're going to bluff it and represent
Yeah.
a hand, you got to bet at least half pot. if not
Hand caught in the cookie
maybe
jar.
3/4 pot. Might have got the job done. I think she didn't want to.
Yeah, I don't think she had a half pot.
She doesn't
le-
have a lot
left
of
in her
chips,
stack.
so
Yeah, she
her
might have.
options
She might
were-
have had to go all in to steal that one.
Right.
And even that might not
And
have
if
been
he
enough.
if she gets called there, then she'd be out of the tournament. At least in this case, she's got a couple shekels, not a lot. What she got, like 10, 12K back?
Schmeckles, Rick and Morty style.
Couple, yeah. 25 schmeckles.
Like, that's not much. Where you can get 25 schmeckles? The hell is a schmeckle?
Jane has had ace queen
Wow.
more than
She's-
any other hand I've seen her
she's
have.
Gotten good cards.
She
but
doesn't. She hasn't raised with it once. That's
Yeah,
pretty
that's-
wild. That's pretty.
You gotta make them
wild.
pay to see.
I mean, in some instances, it does disguise the strength of your hand, but like I
Yeah,
was
Robbie's
saying
not
with the
folding
hand, the
there.
hand with Julio with the 6-3, she just
Melanie with 13.5K left. Queen 9, not a bad big blind hand.
3 ways limp pot. Everybody misses.
Swing and a miss.
Turn card.
No
6
nada.
high
Yeah, I was
board,
gonna
everybody
say.
misses.
Yeah.
Jane taking a strange line on this one,
Let's
but
take a
it's gonna
stab.
work.
She does have the best hand.
Right. But what are
She
you really
doesn't-
representing there? You
right.
limped in with 5s.
Gotta represent that wheel draw.
It's an interesting line to take. I don't know, man. Robbie still looks bored. To be fair, we're watching the hands. You gotta step up the coolers, bro. There's a whole lot of folding going on. There's a lot of time players.
Raise 6.
He had 46% of the chips. Everybody else had 9% of the win. This should be over 3 hands. Yeah, should be. Andrew opens ace-10 off. Ruben gonna flat call with jacks, kind of disguising the strength of his hand. I see a queen in the window and an ace. Ace-queen-9. Look at this action flop, actually. Andrew has top pair. Backdoor diamond draw. Julio has 2 pair. This is going to be an interesting hand. Andrew gonna bet with what he thinks is the best of it. Julio, that was Ruben folded jacks. Yeah, 2 overcards, no good. Julio. Good time for a raise, or he's just gonna peel
Yeah.
to the
it's
turn?
like
He's gonna
it-
peel to
it's
the
like,
turn.
yeah, well, Andrew's driving the action, so you let him keep betting when you're ahead, or if you think you're ahead. There's always a danger you let him get there playing like that, but that's why it's called gambling.
I feel like it is. He's going to value bet again. What it looks like, Andrew pretty convinced he has the best hand here. I just think Julio, this is a good time to pounce on it. If you have the best hand, and when you're out of position, it's different than if you're in position. If you're in position and you think somebody's bluffing, you should let them keep bluffing.
Ooh, dun dun dun
Okay.
dun dun
Julio.
dun dun. Andrew's
So
gonna need a bigger boat.
Now Julio is going. I don't think he can check and hope that Andrew bets. I think it's time to value. You don't want him to check behind. You have a very strong hand.
If you were gonna slow play it, the time to check it would be a snap check. When you think this long, and then you check, you're like, oh well.
You're gonna get some value. He oversized. Yeah.
Right. So he can't check there.
So Julio jams all in because the pot. What was the pot? Yeah, Andrew had less than a pot-sized bet in him. So he's putting Andrew to the test. Andrew's saying, what did I step into? He thought he had the best hand the whole time. He bet a retreat. He stepped into it.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
That's exactly what he stepped into.
It is what he stepped in. I think.
Here, missed diamonds or queen 9. That's what I was putting you on.
Ooh, nails the read.
Miss the diamonds or queen 9. Unfortunately, it's a very polarizing bet. He's got nothing or all of it. So
yeah, it's the latter.
Tough spot for Andrew. We know that Julio's got the best from Andrew's position.
Great read though.
Could be, yeah.
Put it on a coin flip, but if you play, you're gonna lose the coin flip.
I mean, essentially, you're calling for a chop a lot of the times. Jack 10 got there. Yeah, there's a lot of hands.
Tough lay down, but he makes it.
A lot of hands that beat ace 10 there. Good fold from Andrew. Good read from Andrew. Nice play from Julio. Dude, he looks bored. Look at him. He looks like he's half awake.
He's deeply focusing. He's concentrating. He's meditating.
When you got that many chips, I guess you're in no rush to do anything really.
Right.
You could coast for.
Not that I get a chip stack like that in a tournament very often, but when I do, I'm very zen.
Yeah, everything seems to be going your way.
Do not chase the draw. The draw will come to you.
Matt looking like he's going to open with ace jack off. Excusez-moi. We don't have a hand that can battle, and that's going to be folds around the table.
9 deuce. Ugh.
Takes
Holding
2 to
around.
tango.
And now the VPIP. And Melanie went from, well, 0 to 13, so she's getting there.
She played one hand. Brian has been very quiet. I mean, he hasn't had.
I was going to say, to be fair, he's been pretty card dead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He hasn't really had any hands that were worth playing.
No, I got my joker. No, I'm good. Thank you.
I'll take a Sprite if you don't mind. Yeah. Thanks, Rob.
Wait, they're free?
Yeah.
Well, dag nabbit. That's okay.
There's a sting. I don't know if you know, there's a sting right on the other side of the wall there called a concession stand.
Yes, I know that.
They allow us to just grab drinks as we please.
Well, I didn't know that.
Oh, all right. You've been here for how long?
Well,
I know. I see as you're sipping your jug of water from home. A whole God, look at these hands. 9-3, 8-4.
it's not just any jug.
Come on, dealer. Step it up, Mike.
Florida Panther
Florida
jug.
Panthers jug. Hey, they're killing it.
Go Panthers.
They're killing it.
Whoops, wrong button. Right button.
Thanks, Ann. I can't tell if that's sarcasm or not, but either way, I appreciate
You know
the
what?
sentiment.
Since it's in text and we can't really get the proper context, we're just going to take it as a compliment.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, that's great.
All of those are default compliments. So thank you.
Here we go. Some more 10-7, Jack 5, 8 deuce hands. Ace King. Robbie finally got a hand worth playing with. Now, can he bounty somebody? Let's go. Come on, let's go. Give somebody pocket tens.
We'll
Pocket
certainly try. Melanie with
nothing, nothing.
couple of
Melanie.
suited connectors in a row, but Melanie did not want to stake her tournament on it.
Julio likes these small suited hands.
Well, he's
Small
done
suited
well.
Connected hands.
Ooh, and Matt not me with an ace rag. Admiral Akbar style. It's a trap.
Ooh, and Matt defending. Big blind with ace 8.
And the
Flop
flop.
looks
That's all
good.
Robbie.
Yeah. It's going to be hard to get action.
Yeah. Julio needs runners for a straight, pretty much. Runners for 3 of
He's
a
got a
kind.
three-card
Yeah,
straight.
he's
Robbie with an easy
94%.
Robbie with an easy continuation.
It
What
is
do you bet?
not looking
11-5.
good for the other players.
It's going to be hard to get action on this one.
Yeah. I mean, Robbie could have bet a napkin. They're probably both going to fold. It ain't even worth a free napkin. Besides, maybe you get the sniffles later on, and you need that napkin, even though they're free.
Easy game.
Bet and win, easy game.
Easy game. Just flop, top, top. Everybody folds. Looks like Robbie got 1, 2, 3, 4. He's up to 5-ish, 550 maybe.
Yeah, Robbie's chip stacks compared to all the rest of the players. I mean, it's starting to have a gravitational pull.
Julio's accumulated some chips since his final table started. But it's not looking like anybody else has more than 100K. I think everybody's on average.
Everybody's kind of sitting
80 or
back,
less.
waiting for that big hand.
Richard, ace jack off, 65. It's going to be the standard number.
They never work for so
He
little,
chooses number, yeah.
except once. That was a very noble cause. We don't know what.
Brian has
that's
a very
it, Brian.
pretty looking 10-9 suited. He's looking to get involved, man. He has not. It's like the best hand he's had.
Right, yeah, he hasn't seen a lot. Matt indeed plays Matt does not play Nintendo. Folding that 64. Do a barrel roll.
All right, Star Fox. Pretty good flop for Andrew.
No, but everybody knows to do a barrel roll.
He's gonna jam, man.
Seriously,
with,
tell Google to
Parano.
do it. Do a barrel roll. It will.
Andrew gonna jam with Parano open-ended, and it's gonna work. Everybody just mucks. Some free chips for the guy with a small stack. Andrew just went from 40 to 60, maybe.
I know it was coming. 6'5". You had 6'4"?
Well, it's not always an argument about sports and in Florida. When it's
Sure
me
it
and
is.
Ernest, it is because, I mean, he's watched like 8 hockey games in his whole life, but he immediately wants to tell me how the Rangers are going to beat the Panthers in this series when I've been watching hockey for 30-plus years.
Well, the way, as far as, I mean, I know that some people like to nitpick or maybe berate other people's play, but I just feel like there's more than one way to get the job done. There's more than
Right.
one play style. You got to look at it from, you know, could have went this way, could have
Yeah.
went that way. That's how I look at things. when
I gave
when
Ernest
do
a bunch of
commentary.
Corsi stats, you know, how it breaks down 5-on-5, special teams, defensive core. And I'm like, dude.
Yeah, I could see the sports broadcast being live when you guys are
Right.
sitting here.
And I'm like, the Rangers have us in one spot, power play. That's it. Doesn't mean we're going to win necessarily. We may not play up to snuff, but there's a reason the Panthers are the favorite in this series. That's where all the money's going. It's going on Florida. It's not going on New York.
Walk me out another hand. Give respect.
So I believe it's 15-3-3, the level now.
See Queen 9? Originally I was putting
I want to know when our live stream is a love fest.
I had the nuts. You were behind the whole
Oh, and
Can you-
no, that's usually Saturday is ladies'
about
night, and it's
Nancy?
Steffi Mo and Nancy. Oh, it's a love fest. No, I get what Anna's saying immediately,
That's funny.
but due to some scheduling conflicts,
Good
it's
old-fashioned.
not Nancy and Steffi Mo this Saturday.
Oh, Although we do love you guys. Nancy
Right,
and
we
Steffi
do,
Mo,
yeah,
Steffi Mo, if you're still in the chat.
The viewers, if you were expecting those two, sorry to disappoint. It's just me and Andrew.
All right, Melanie's got a suited
Today.
ace and a short stack. It's time to get it in. Brian also looked like he's just found a hand worth getting it in. Short stack. He'll even have some chips left over if everybody folds. King 10 suited, it's good enough. Short stack shove. Hope. Chuck and pray like a Hail Mary. Just pray for the best. Put the money in, pray for the best. Andrew with a 10-7 suited. I don't know if he's posturing or if he's actually thinking about this one. He's posturing.
Yeah, Andrew's like, eh.
Ruben with the best hand, but when two all-ins in front of you, it's kind of hard to want to jump in with an ace-9 offsuit 3 ways.
And
Not
then
looking
there's
good.
Richard.
It's Richard got queen 5 suited. Yes.
Yeah, that's
This is a fold. And Richard, he probably just squeezed the queen.
right. 20. Yeah, 20.
Squeeze the queen and look at. And
It's
then the other
like,
one's a
come on,
five.
give me something to go with this queen.
So we're off
Twas
to
not to
the
be.
races. 55-45. Melanie with a slight lead with her ace. That's a pretty good fluff for ace high.
No, 10.
Oh,
Ooh, the
the
boats.
10 I even noticed is the 10. Never
boats,
mind.
yes.
She was
10's
unfortunately-
full. So
She was gone on the turn on the
that is it for Melanie.
Brian with well timed.
Fortunately for her.
All in gets a bounty. Do we know? Are they still playing with the bounties? Did they take back their bounties? I didn't see them do that.
Well, with
Bounty.
the actual cash portion of the payout, bounties aside, we will be paying the top 5 because we got 41 entrants.
I didn't see the payouts, but he sounds about right.
Right.
I have one at home. I might have one in the car. I don't think Julio flat with ace-9 suited. Brian with a pair. He's gonna go for it. It looks like. Okay, it's a virtual all-in. He just went all. He put 99% of his chips out there. He's got 42.5 and he put out 41.5. It's a virtual all-in for Brian.
Yeah. I think he just held back the.
Jane with a pair behind him, a better
Did he
pair.
legit just hold back the blue chip?
Me personally, I never really understood that play, or at least I've never done that.
No, but
play.
am I reading it right though?
Yes.
Or-
He,
okay.
it's like I said, he virtual all in. He put 99% of his chips out there and saved like a 1K back. Matt with a king jack off. You have a limp in front of you and a very large raise. It's gonna be tough to defend with hands like king jack, ace
especially with
10.
leaving like what if somebody goes over the top and when we have multiple pots? Do you think the person who has the chip lead over you in a bounty tournament isn't going to come after that blue chip? They
Maybe
absolutely will.
Definitely, it's basically an all-in. It announces a lot of strength. It's just strange to. Do they do it just so you can say technically I'm not all in?
Yeah, like I said, which might be
Technically.
a viable strategy in a lot of scenarios, but
Yeah.
not in a bounty tournament. That's the way you get called. But maybe that was his plan.
I don't care. You guys want to take another break? Doesn't matter. We don't have. All right, yeah, let's play. Let's play. Tell them to. I just need the blue chip.
Yeah, the very anxious players.
Well, I was just listening. They just came off of a break not too long ago.
Yeah.
Maybe an hour ago. So instead
They're
of
like,
going for
nah,
another break,
skip the break.
we're gonna do a quick color up here. It looks like, and we're just gonna keep the game moving. Been live for what, an hour? We got one casualty.
Give me 2 more. I had 2.
But again, thanks for tuning in and taking in our final table.
If you haven't already, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and even share. Share with your friends. Let them know.
Yeah, sharing is caring. Also, hit that notification bell so that next time you will be notified the instant we go live.
Like, follow, subscribe.
Okay, our job is it's more difficult than it looks or than it sounds here. So my broadcast partner, limbering up, You don't want to pull anything during the
do it.
show. I mean,
Gotta do it.
that's just the worst.
You got to do a yoga stretch.
Right.
You gotta do some
If he was
jumping
anywhere near
jacks.
the webcam, I definitely would have put that on. But he did it way over there.
Behind the scenes look.
And speaking of the payouts, here they are. $29.81 for first, $18.43 for second, $12.83 for third, $9.95 for fourth, and $848 for fifth. Well, to be fair, and a lot of people talk sports at me. You know, when I'm dealing, because hey, a lot of people like sports. A lot of people want my insights.
Here's what I notice about dealers who have been doing it for a very long time. Poker becomes very boring. You see it every day. So they want to talk about anything other than poker.
Yeah, we do have a few
So,
subjects that
I can think of a few dealers who I've known. They've been in the business
Right.
for 20 years, and every time they sit down, it's a talk about sports.
Right, and it depends on the players. Like sometimes when I sit down and everybody's just quiet and everybody's really concentrating on their hands,
Yeah, you gotta
and
feel
I'm-
like-
right,
like your crowd.
that's what we call a shut up and deal table.
Yeah, there's. Yeah, you
So
gotta
we
know
pretty
your-
much just shut up and deal. But there's other times when I tap out a dealer, I haven't even sat down yet, and they're like, "Hey, do you think that? What do you think? I'm thinking of taking this team against the spread. What do you think?" I haven't even sat down yet, and I don't want to be rude and say, "Nah, we shouldn't talk sports at the poker table." You can't do that. No.
But you love to give your input on the sports, so of course, like I said.
Well,
it's
I always follow with the disclaimer. I'm like, I'm not wagering, so take anything I say with a grain of salt. I said, but I have noticed these trends and these stats, so.
Richard pocket tens, short stack ish,
Price 32,000.
less than 10 bigs.
With the tens, yeah, that's
Less than 10
that's the move. Robbie's got a suited ace, and I do like ace four
Even
a lot
better.
better than ace seven or ace eight because
You can make it straight. You can make
Right.
it straight flush with ace four suited. Now, I like the shove with tens on the button. It kind of looks bluffy. It kind of looks like steely.
it does.
And so Robbie with enough chips to look him up and a decent hand. Unfortunately, right now
So
Robbie's only got
it's
3 outs unless he gets some
yeah,
help on the flop.
it's
but
a little better than a coin flip for Robbie.
how does it say of coin flip? That's not right.
I said a little better, 56 to
It
44.
should be more like 70-30.
And
Now he's got a pair. He needs an ace or four. That doesn't help.
ace or
Only ace or four.
Nope. No five.
Richard
so
finds
no
a double.
straight.
Richard finds a double pocket tens. Yeah, the shove on the button it looks bluffy.
All right, updated chip counts. Everybody is in the danger zone,
Robbie still
except
has-
Robbie and Julio.
Robbie still has 50% of the
Yeah,
chips.
he lost a little bit there,
He lost
but
like 30K in chips.
yeah, but it didn't even hurt. He still has more than
barely a-
triple
barely
the
a
second
flush
place
range.
player. So still sitting pretty.
3 people under 15 bigs.
Big smiles from Robbie too. I mean, when I lose a hand, I'm surly. I don't. But Robbie's laughing, having a good time.
What do you think Jane's listening to in those earpods? Earbuds.
I assure you, I don't know.
Listen to some classics, some ABBA.
I don't think it's ABBA.
You don't know. You think she listened to hardcore death metal?
She's probably listening to our colleague Ernest's podcast. Earnestly
Ooh.
speaking.
Look at these hands. Robbie opens with
Trays,
sixes.
A's, sixes.
Julio flats with threes in the
Right,
small.
six
Now
K to go.
Brian has the best. He's got the pocket aces, but how do you? I think he's thinking of how can I get paid off. I don't think shoving. Yeah, he's gonna 3-bet for a majority of his stack, but not all of it.
Now it's time for pain.
Interesting. Now, does Robbie want to go for it?
Yeah,
if he
there's
thinks
zero
it's a
chance
flip?
Robbie's like, well, I mean, it's sixes. There's higher pocket pairs out there, so.
I mean, if he's
maybe
like,
he
all right,
has
let's take a
one."
flip here for whatever Brian's got, 40, 50K.
Warren
except
jumps in.
for we-
Earnestly speaking is a great podcast.
Except for we know.
Is that you,
Honestly
Ernest?
speaking.
Is that your YouTube name, Warren Brooks? Tell the truth.
Yeah, Robbie's gonna flat. So he didn't. I guess he didn't want to reshove to isolate because Julio does have enough chips to actually make him hurt. Actually, he's got like 150K. Then again, that does invite Julio into the pot. He's getting, what is it?
Yeah,
It's
that's
24. He's getting like
Right.
3.5 to 1. He's getting 3 to 1 odds.
apparently Julio plays by vampire rules. Comes in when he's invited in.
I was going to say, you lost me on that one. Jack in the window.
Ooh, no nada, which is good news for Brian.
All in.
And snaps all in. Easy, Tiger. They're going to, right, that's what happens. Even though it's 15K into a 100K pot.
Well, 6s and 3s just hate that flop.
Right.
Interesting. That's a nice pot for
is a
somebody
nice
who
pot.
doesn't have to see a turn or river.
It's excellent. It's just when he snapped all in. I'm like, yeah, if he Hollywooded it up a little bit, I'm not saying he would have got a call,
It wouldn't have mattered.
but
But yeah.
probably not. But just when he went bam, I'm like, oh, you just don't want to call it all, do you?
At that point, and then you're jamming 15K into like 95-ish,
Right.
100-ish. Full fold. How do you just take down 100K for 15?
I had a pair, but yeah, I should see the next two parts. For some reason, I don't know why I'm taking 30,000. He has more. He has 15,000, right?
15,000.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm thinking like he has 30,000. I'm thinking like the bet. Yeah.
All right, we
exactly.
got Matt, not me, with ace 10.
Yeah, I'm thinking like he has like the actual bet for some reason. I don't know why.
And he says, I use my real name there. So I can assume this is a fake name. Ruben with the hockey sticks.
What are you trying to do there?
Gotta be 8.
Raise to 8.
Oh, he made a half a
Yeah,
raise. So
he made a
can-
half
can
raise. Yeah.
Complete the raise to 8.
Yeah, Robbie's got one of his outs, though. Julio says, let's play for all of it.
What's Julio got? Oh, he's got ace king.
Yeah, he's ace king.
Easy jam. Don't see a lot of action. Oh, Julio says,
Yeah,
I'm going
I
for it.
mean, he only had 22K
Yeah,
left, so.
that's true. I mean, luckily for Julio, luckily for Ruben, Ruben's going to see that it's a flip. He got to survive a flip. And haven't seen a lot from Ruben. He's been pretty card dead and quiet.
AK against hockey sticks.
We're flipping. Safe flop for
yeah.
sevens. Looking to now he
trippy,
is
and 9
only
for a chop.
9 for a chop. And
Nope,
that's it.
man.
Ruben free rolling on the turn. That's good. Get the double up. He's up to like 50-ish probably.
78.
He just made 48K. He's up to 78. Nice.
Right, because of the pre-flop raise. He had 22.
Oh
at
yeah,
the-
he had
at the all
22
in,
behind
yeah.
behind
Right.
whatever he opened with, so he had like 30-ish.
Right, and there was 3 players that
Plus the blinds and
saw
Andy's,
the
plus
flop.
Robbie's 8.
Exactly.
78. Nice little come up from Ruben.
So
He's
Ruben
been
was
great.
in last or 8th out of 8 players. That tells you how short the short stacks are, and they're just kind of passing chips.
He wins one
He
hand,
jumped
he's got
all the
20
way up to
breaks.
4th,
Yeah.
and it's 5 spots.
All
so
the chips are on the top.
right, it doesn't sound like that big of a jump, but when we're only paying 5 spots, yeah.
I mean, anything can still happen.
Anytime you want, you can jump from 8th to 4th. Take it. So that's
Took a
probably
while,
what
but-
Robbie's waiting for. I mean, he's just kind of sitting there, you know, because the money's not till. I suspect once we get down to the money, that's when Robbie's going to start, you know,
Picking
pushing
it
the
up,
table
yeah.
around.
Yep. He took a little while. The table has gotten a little more lively.
Right, and usually when somebody shoves like that, they've got it because nobody wants to risk at this point with everybody with similar chip stacks.
Talking about the Julio shove with ace king.
Yeah, it's like you know when they shove, they got it. So it's we're
Julio
not
just raised
we're
with
not
ace king.
seeing the bigger
Sorry.
stacks.
Julio just raised a 7 deuce.
Yeah.
I like this guy's style. Seen him open with 6-3 suited. Seen him call 5-4 suited. Now we've seen him raise a 7 deuce suited.
7 deuce. He does know we're not playing the 7 deuce game on this
I don't know if he
stream,
knows.
right? It may not matter.
He flops best. Second pair. I think Matt's going to check his ace high, and I think if
Yeah.
Julio raised pre-flop, it was a good c-bet. Good time to c-bet.
That's
Down bet to
5,000.
5K. That's funny.
Which, okay, right. We're not at that level yet. Okay. I was about to say, no, isn't it 6? I'm like, no, it's not 6. It's 4.
Yep.
Cumulative winnings. Oh, no, Robbie's down 1.5K. going down.
He went up to like 550.
He's not going down.
Now he's back down to like 480, but he started with like 480, so he's right back to even.
Right.
Andrew, Jane, and Matt have taken hits since they've begun this final table.
Now, you'd think you wouldn't see that with as many short stacks as we have, it being a bounty tournament. You'd think they would be a little more aggressive,
I feel
but
like we
not
haven't
really.
seen a lot of
Yeah.
like head hunting, bounty hunting. Seems kind of, everybody's kind of standard. Wait, Ruben.
Uh-oh.
Ruben?
Uh-oh. Those
Okay,
were
now
some
I fold.
shenanigans.
Raise to 8.
Julio with the 7-4.
Is this
I mean,
right?
yeah.
Are the cards reading correctly? Andrew gonna defend. So we got 5 high against 7 high. Interesting.
Sevens are hot. Last couple of hands
Julio
have
has
been a 7.
hit a pair.
Maybe that's why Julio played it.
Andrew checks.
Like sevens have been coming up a
I
lot.
still think.
That is 5,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I still
That is
think
so annoying.
the flop is still better for the pre-flop better's range as opposed
So
to
annoying.
the big blind calling range.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It was a very good bet by Julio, but I try to look at it from the player's standpoint. In the big blind, and you just get needled for 5K, and then needled for. It's like, it's so annoying. It's very tilting.
Such a call me bet.
It's like, if you're gonna chop my head off, chop my head off. Don't give me this death by 1,000 cuts kind of stuff.
Yep,
Just come at me with the battle axe.
little tiny bets. They're very inviting. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Matt with a pair on the button. He's got 56K. He's gonna flat the button. Andrew with kings. Andrew with kings.
I am confused by what I am seeing.
What do you think? Matt should have opened on the button?
It is in. With low pocket pairs like that, and this is just me and the way I play, I'm either, being aggressive with it, trying to push everybody
That's what
out,
I'm saying. I still think
or
a
I'm
small
folding.
bet- a
I'm
small bet.
never limping with threes or deuces
And now,
ever.
So if
Because
Matt-
then
yeah,
that
Matt
might
thinks,
happen.
Matt thinks he's flipping. He's going to see the bad news.
Yeah.
I think you'd get more info if you were to, because Andrew could just be bluffing or attacking with a limper on the button, which means his range is very wide. We know that his range is, he's at the top of his range, obviously. But I just think Matt.
Yeah,
oh,
ooh,
Matt's
king in the
crippled.
window right there.
Matt's crippled now to 13K. it looks
Right.
like.
One of the threes is dead. That's what I was going to say. That's why he's got the check mark.
Yeah.
No running threes for him. And no, that was not an elimination. Matt had Andrew covered just slightly.
3 bigs.
All right, with those last couple of hands, Brian and Andrew have clawed their way out of the danger zone.
I want this thing to be over.
I don't know. Well,
Just barely. Because
yeah,
and
Andrew
when
got
you
over
look at
20
the
bigs now.
when you look at the big blinds on our graphic, we couldn't figure out how to get them to account for the big blind ante. So they don't really have 18 or 17 big blinds. You have to chop that number in half. That's how many they actually have.
Well, just because you have 20 bigs doesn't mean you have 20 rounds of poker.
No, not at all. But because of the big blind ante matching the big blind, if it says you have 20 blinds, you really have 10.
Yeah, you have like a Q score of 10. You know how many rounds of. That's what I go by. Like when the blinds are 4 or 4 with a 4 and 2, so you're looking at 10K a round.
Yep.
And if you have 50K, then you don't. It looks like you have more big blinds than you. You're right. It looks like you have
Right.
20 bigs, but really you have
10.
You have 10 rounds, or you have. It looks like you have 10 rounds. You get 5. 5 rounds around the table is not a lot of time. 8-handed, that's like 40 hands. and
it
you gotta
gets
make
tougher
something happen.
because you really want to pick your spot, but the mounting pressure, it's like you can't wait for the perfect hand. You gotta maybe make a move with a good hand. got chip stacks like Robbie and Julio, sure, you can be a bit more patient. But
Excuse me. I feel gaseous.
yeah, those kind of hands are annoying in the small blind. It's only half a blind to limp, but you don't know what the chip leader is going to do behind you.
What was Richard's hand on the small blind?
Jack 5.
Oh.
It was Jack Rag. And he looked like he didn't want to fold. It's all like, it's just 3K. You can't play.
But yeah, sometimes it's better to.
Because like I said, the chip leader's right behind you, and he might just,
sometimes it's better to avoid confrontation than to try to.
Right, he just might decide to 4X on his option.
Check, check.
The king, Robbie with a 9 has the best hand. And he's going to try to bleed Andrew a little bit. Andrew looks like he kind of knows. It's all like, yeah. Knows exactly that he's getting bled.
He bet the 5K. This is
Yeah,
how
the
we talk about
5K,
the
it's-
little tiny. Yeah.
Right, those tiny bets, it's
Little
like,
tiny jabs.
I
like,
know.
Please call me, and I'd
Right,
rather just get smashed with a mallet instead of
right. You know you're
pecked with a
beat,
toothpick.
but you start doing your math, and you're like, it's 5K in a 31K pot. And you want to call, but you can't. But Andrew did make the right move. Didn't stop him from being really annoyed at Robbie for it, because I'm like, he even said, I know I'm beat, but I.
It's like you just want to call because it's so cheap.
Yeah.
And you have a pair. But really, you can't beat anything when you have a bottom pair. Brian with
Alright.
a pair. He's been chipping up, actually.
All right, where's Steffi Mo? This is Steffi Mo's hand.
Brian's conservative style doesn't want to get involved under the gun against the whole field of deuces.
His conservative, I was
He's-
going to say his common sense style,
mean,
but
he's
sure,
still-
go
he's-
with that.
I've seen him take the conservative
Yeah.
route. Like he had king queen suited under the gun. I think he could have opened,
Yeah,
but he
there
decided
was
to fold.
that,
Like
right.
he's I could tell he's a little bit on the conservative side. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I'm just
He's
like,
picked his spots very well
yeah,
so
but it's
far.
deuces. I keep telling
Well,
them, they're
if
like,
Steffi
pocket
was here, she
pair.
might be jumping out the seat.
It's a made hand. I'm like, no, it isn't. It's literally one notch north of ace king.
No, but it's a hand that if you could,
One
you know,
notch.
it's a hand that's very well disguised if you can flop a
Yeah,
set. You know,
that's
it's
true.
one of those.
I just hate it so much.
Heads up.
Actually, I have flop set of deuces against top set, and no, I did not suck out. So there is that.
Fives, Andrew sixes, still leading the way. Julio probably
Julio.
knows this. He's like, if I check again, he's probably gonna bet me right out of this. So I better
7,000.
take a stab.
Or he's going to make it look like he checked a pair
Right.
on the flop, and Andrew says it's cheap
Ooh,
enough for
Andrew.
me to look him up.
A 9. No help
Andrew
to
with the
either
check
player.
mark. He's
Oh,
gonna check
well,
behind.
that's
He's going to check
check.
behind a window.
Exactly, he's gonna check. In that spot, there's no reason to bet. If you're beat, you're beat. You can't win any more money at that point. You can only lose it. I said that to somebody at a player or at a table I was playing against. And when I checked back, they're like, "You didn't bet me again." I said, "Either you're slow playing me or you'll fold to any bet." And he's like, "Damn it!" And he turned up a set. He was slow playing me. I said, "Right, I can't."
Oh yeah, of course. That's
I'm
why.
like-
Oh, you didn't bet that?
I had top pair. I'm like, I can't win any more chips off you. I can only lose them. And I
mean,
would have
you know,
lost them.
Poker players hate when you're right. I hate when the
Yeah.
other person is right. I know I do. I hate it when my opponent is correct.
But that's the thing. He was annoyed. I'm like, dude, you won the pot. How are you
Because he
mad?
wanted more chips. You were betting top pair, I'm guessing, and then he
Yeah.
decided to check
With a
back on the
decent
river,
kicker,
which,
too.
Yeah,
Not the
and
best
that's-
kicker, but
Of course, you got one pair, bro. You're actually very vulnerable. If you got two streets of value, if you had the best hand, that'd be sweet. I don't know.
right.
You know, blast off on the river with one pair? No. Of course, he wanted you too, just because he had a set.
Right.
Seems like a silly reason to get mad, though. we got multi-way action flop, or multi-way action pot. A whole lot of queens out there. I feel like Brian is in. He's got a good spot with 2 low cards. He's gonna step out the way.
I don't know. I mean, it's not a great hand, but
But you're getting
still,
good
the
price.
value, yeah, the
Yeah.
value you were getting for it is
I don't know. I might have
pretty
peeled.
good.
I might have peeled.
He had 4-3.
And he
yeah.
bricked it. Dang it! I hate it when they're right. He's nodding his head. Look
he's
at him.
like, yeah, I am a great
Nodding his
player.
head.
I made a spectacular move there.
Yeah, he just saved some chips. I would have lost some chips.
Well, and in Florida, if you meant higher stakes, we do have
I would play
pit
more
games.
if there were higher sticks. I mean, I can go outside and grab you some sticks if
Well,
you want.
I have a hockey background, and high sticking is illegal, and we're encouraged not to do it.
So,
But,
she's looking for
no,
higher
there-
stakes. Yeah, and
There is the high stakes game, which
what are you looking for?
it
Ann?
depends on the players what they feel like playing.
I'm
that
guessing
day.
she's saying 2-5 is not big enough for what she's looking for. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, our 5-10 games and our 25-25
They've gone
games
extinct.
are they're private games. I mean,
Right,
it's,
the
you can't, they're
5-10.
not public. You can't just walk up and say, "Hey, let me play 5-10."
Well,
Let me
we
play
had the
25.
regular 5-10 with the $300 buy-in limit, and I'm
I
like,
know
you can,
that's been gone for a while.
I'm
though.
like, yeah, we still have it, but nobody wants to play it
Even
because
then-
at 2.5 you could buy it for 500.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
just a 5-10
Just as a
with
player,
300
I
is-
I
it's a
wouldn't play the
short stack.
5-10 either. I'd play the
No,
2.5.
it's people liked it because it was good action, you know.
Yeah.
Short stack 5-10, but at the same time, we do need more public. I've been saying this for a while now. We need public PLO games. We need 2-2 or 5-5, but unfortunately nobody asked for them. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure if they asked, we would spread it, but nobody asked for
Depending on which variation, high only or high low.
it. No, high only.
Really gotta pay attention.
Raise all in.
Like a lot of players, you know, it's a very casual atmosphere in a lot of our games, and the detail in Omaha is far greater than in Hold'em.
I mean, I just think that there's
Which
a
means
very
you can't really be that social in a game like that.
there's a very live PLO scene, 2-2 and 5-5. I'm not gonna
Right.
say where, but I can think of a few casinos that spread 3, 4, 5 games a day. And I don't know. I'm not sure why we're not one of them. We even have the craziest part is we even do offer a bad beat for PLO games. We
Right.
have it's been sitting at 5K. which is
Yeah,
the
it's
bare
been
minimum
frozen.
because nobody plays it. There's no money being contributed to the bad beat. Therefore,
Exactly.
somebody-
It got hit some time ago, and it resets to 5.
right?
We
that's
just
the
haven't
backup.
had the right. We just haven't had anybody play it, so it's been at 5K ever since.
We should do something to encourage like 2-2.
I think it was
or
like
5-5 public game.
11K. I want
When
to
it got
say. I'm
hit?
just guessing, yeah, but I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dealt some quad deuces today as well, and then somebody at the buzzer dealt quad aces, so my player didn't get the high hand. Dang it!
It's funny. I'll go like multiple weeks with no high hands, and then a day like last
On
week.
in.
Last week on a Saturday, I think I had like 5 high hands. 2 of them were in the same half hour. So one of them, and then one of them beat the other one.
Richard's going for it with his ace queen.
We got some hands. There's nobody who can defend.
No, that's. But Matt's
Wait,
only got
Matt's
only
got
got
6K
5K.
behind.
Yeah, so
Oh.
he has to.
So Richard's gonna get action. Matt's gonna see.
Matt really needs a 4.
Well, he would have loved to have been live.
Yeah,
It's unfortunate that he's only got 3 outs right now. Brink. Oh, that's
and
not a
there's the
good one for
ace.
him.
No, that's very,
Richard's
very
got the
bad.
club draw
No,
too,
and
he's
it's,
drawing
the
good.
draw is dead,
And
but
that's
we got to
it.
run it anyway. And just for injury, an ace-high flush for Richard.
Just sad.
No need whatsoever
insult
to hit
to
runner
injury,
for a
man.
flush, but he does anyway because
Rub
that's
it
just the
in.
game.
This game is so brutal like that. Just rub it in.
Richard wins. Brutality.
And says 10-20 is one. Yeah, that's. I don't even think our pit players play that when they play Omaha. I think it's a 5-5-10 game they usually spread.
In the pit.
Yeah. For their Omaha game, 10-20. I'm like they.
Pretty often. Pretty often 5-5 with a mandatory straddle.
Right.
The other one, the high-low game is 25-25-50. But yeah, like I said, we should have a public 2-2 or a public 5-5. A lot of places have
I can't even imagine a
2-2 with
10-20
a
game
rock.
myself, just
5-5
as a
with a
player.
rock.
I don't have anywhere near the bankroll necessary to play 10-20 PLO. It's,
of course not.
I wouldn't.
That's wild.
Yeah,
I see
know.
Ann is looking for nosebleeds.
I would lead. I would need.
10-20, you need at least 100 bigs. That's 2K.
Yeah.
It's a bit much for me to want.
No, I'm talking about the bankroll, not the buy-in. I'm like, for a bankroll for that game, it's at least 6K
30
minimum.
buy-ins?
Minimum.
Heads up.
So it's Julio's 9-5 versus Jane's K8, both suited, by the way. Ooh.
They both flop open it.
They both fly. Yeah, I was going to say, flippity floppity.
Check, check.
Check, check. Heart for Jane? Nope, no heart. Julio hits a
Uh,
pair. He takes
five.
the lead.
Wow,
bro.
he's just
That's-
living right.
Julio's got the best of it. He's gonna value
He's going to bet it. He's all like, I'm so confident in my fives. Or more confident that Jane has none of that.
I mean, it's a 10K question. If she has something, the worst you can lose is 10K. But if she has nothing, yeah, I mean, when she takes time, I feel confident if I was in Julio's seat. Be like, oh, she took this long? Yep. And then she folds. 5 is good.
I don't know. We don't really advertise other rooms here on this show, Ann, but it's hard for me to believe in the
Probably
past that anything in that town,
To Tampa.
which has
Well,
the
that's
lightning,
That's far enough away that it's
Boo.
not
blue lightning.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
But we
It's far enough
finally
where
beat
that's not
them.
really our competition.
Right, we finally beat them in the playoffs, so maybe it's time to end my Tampa embargo.
Panthers were in the finals last year, right?
Yeah.
From wish.com.
Yeah, last year was the finals, the Miami Heat and the Panthers finals. Did
Both-
the Panthers lose?
Yeah, we both lost.
I was just going to
Heat
say
and
we
Panthers,
both lost.
but they were both 8 seeds.
Yeah.
So it was
Oh, yeah, that's
historic.
right. That is pretty historic.
There's been other 8 seeds making the championship round before, but not 2 from the same city in the
That's pretty
same
wild.
year.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, my buddy this year, at the beginning of the playoffs with the Rangers and the Knicks making the playoffs, my buddy who is a New York fan, he was creaming his pants.
It's like, you don't.
Rangers are still alive, but what's the count on the
It's tied at 1.
tied 1-1? I mean,
Next 2 games are
I'm
in
not
Sunrise.
I'm not a big Florida fan, but I just want the Rangers to lose because it's my buddy's team.
We'll do our best. I mean, we are favored, so.
Yeah,
Should
Panthers
win.
are looking good. They're looking strong.
Suited K, or not suited, it's offsuit K9 for Jane.
I mean, Jane with
Sixes, Ruben's not
46K.
gonna play that. Yeah.
I feel like an all-in or fold would have been
Sixes versus K9.
better. Kennel Club hand gets there.
Ooh. 2 pair, kings and 10s with a 9 thus far. Yeah, but I don't play there because I never win there. I get it in so good, and I think I make all the right moves. That place is just a suck-out fest for me.
Oh, that 8 or better game
plays
everywhere. I mean, I've seen it at the Creek. I've seen it at the Hard Rock. That 8 or better game is it's like the same group of guys. Like there's certain games that there was a 2040 stud game that used to be at a couple casinos. It's just they were like 6-handed. It was the same guys, and they played 1 week at this casino, 1 week at the other casino. It's very rare to find a game like that, though, obviously. OB, she's talking about the Omaha. Oh, 08, yeah, 08. 08.
Yeah.
Omaha 8 or better, yeah. Oh, they get it in? Oh, Richard made
Yeah.
the move, and then she called.
2 outer, and that's not it.
08 at Pompano Greek.
So
King.
Jane's
So
going to
there's-
double up.
They play like an 8-16, right, Em? I think they play an 8-16 with the kill.
Oh, that math would hurt my head.
There was a dealer's game that was being played at the place that she's talking about, and they played like a 5-game mix. I played in it once or twice because somebody's a fan. They did pineapple bomb pots, every dealer.
Pure gamble, man.
Omaha high, Omaha high low. There was a 7-card stud game in there. It was like a 5 or 6 game mix.
6 what? The 6-3? The 3-4?
I recently played at a casino down south, and on the dealer changes, they do a Hold'em bomb pot, which I think is the silliest thing ever. It's stupid. You know how hard it is to scoop with
Yes.
with 2 cards? Like, it's so stupid.
Ideal bomb pots all the time.
Are
I've never
Yeah,
played
yeah, yeah.
one,
Well,
and
what
I'm
I'm
like,
s-
I'm
I
not
just
gonna
think
play
I
one
just
either.
think PLO is such a better game for bomb pots. PLO bomb pots are great because you have so many spots where you can actually have a hand on both boards. If you have a hand on one board, then you risk losing the whole pot. You risk getting quartered if you don't have the nuts. Like,
It's getting to you, Ann. I can't even smell it, but I haven't eaten all day. It's starting to get to me. And I'm on my own for dinner. I haven't eaten
I
all
was just
day.
gonna say she's making me hungry. Thanks.
Yeah, my wife's going with her friend to a concert tonight, so I'm not even going to have any dinner waiting for me when I get home.
What concert's going on tonight?
I don't know. I hate
I
concerts.
see how you're involved in your wife's
Well, no,
affairs.
it's whoever's playing at the amphitheater down at the
okay,
fairgrounds. I
okay,
don't know who's
okay.
playing, but
Yeah, I
somebody.
guess.
'Cause that's where she's
Somebody.
going.
I don't know who it is, but somebody's going. It's definitely somebody.
Right, 'cause she can't stay awake in a car, so she can't really drive far by herself. No, she
Okay.
will literally fall asleep. So
That's funny.
I'm
My
going to a
girl's the same
concert. I
way.
said it better be at I forget what they call it now, but I mean it was always Mars Amphitheater. You know when they first opened. So I said it better be there because you ain't driving to Lauderdale or Miami. That's for sure.
She'll fall asleep.
Yeah.
Look at this pot. Get 4-way. 8s, 9s, ace 10, and 9-7 suited. Jane flops at best.
Wow, look at all these pocket pairs.
She just check it. She checked it. Oh, I thought that was an 8. Jane looking to get some value. I mean, what's she
Yeah.
got? Oh, I
That
missed it.
double up earlier was huge. Now she's got some chips to play with.
Yeah. She's not going to get a lot of action here,
No.
but I think that's a good thing.
And they're like, nah, take it.
Warren says bomb pots slow the game down.
Right.
Depends. Yeah, it depends. I mean, there are some times I like the bomb pots because they could be very action. They could loosen up the table a little bit, especially if the table's a little bit on the tighter side. And when people either lose
Dude,
a big
tight
bomb
player-
pot or they might.
No, if they're playing bomb pots, tight players are not at that table. The first time they see it, they're going to put in for a table transfer,
I'm
and
just
they're
saying,
getting the hell out of there.
You could get a cooler on a bomb pot, which could tilt a player into playing a little bit looser on the regular game. I mean,
Because I know if I sat at a table, they're like, okay, bomb pot, everybody put in a quarter. I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
you can sit out.
I'm
You can
like,
sit out with the
yeah, I'm
bomb
not
pots.
doing that. That's how we do it. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm going to get the host to get me on another table then, if you guys want to play that way.
I think pineapple bomb pots are silly, and I think Hold'em bomb pots are silly.
20.
I guess pineapple's a little bit better.
Robbie's like,
Ooh, Robbie's got the best hand, but
Yeah,
Julio jammed for
but
100K.
yeah, it's all in.
120K. It's a tough spot for Robbie, actually.
yeah, it is. Decision time.
Robbie opened for what? Robbie opened for 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little more than 100.
He gets jammed on by Julio.
Smack him.
Can Robbie?
Well, no,
put it
I mean,
together? He's got a slight lead. It's not a big lead. He's got a
Yeah.
slight lead. It's like a 60-40 flip. It's 2 live cards. 1 over and 2 middling cards for Julio.
yeah, but Julio has shown that he's got range. I mean, that could be anything.
Well,
down
we know
there.
that, but he hasn't
Right.
flipped over a lot of those hands that we've seen him play. The 7-4, the 7 deuce, the 6-3 was one that he flipped over, and that was a hand that he raised with. Robbie's not happy about it, but I think he's gonna have to fold. Yeah,
Yeah.
just too much.
I'm sure he'll watch a rerun
That's
of
too
the show
much.
tonight. Say, what did he have when he jammed on
It's
me?
too much to bounty hunt.
Right.
It's like 20% of your stack.
Like any other player at the
25%.
table, that same move, Robbie probably calls, but it's
Snap
just
call, yeah.
too many chips
Yeah.
that Julio's got.
Steady players. But we do see a lot of the same faces downstairs in the public games and even the private games. Private games are a very small amount of the same players. The same 27 players. Sounds about right, Ann.
Depends on who's out of town and
Yeah.
you know, because there's 18 spots.
Yeah.
So 27 players. So. Yeah, that was like I said, I'm sure Robbie's going to watch the rerun after it's posted on YouTube, just to know what did he have. And Robbie was ahead, but we didn't get to see the run out, so, and it was pretty much a coin flip. Slight edge to Robbie on that one. All right, here's our pre-flop race stats. Richard, Robbie, Julio, all in a first place tie, but at 20%. Not unusual at a final table of a tournament. We usually see a little more aggression than that when we do our feature to final table, but once they get close to the money, the action kind of slows down because nobody wants to be the bubble.
No, I know. It sounds like they're.
I don't understand the question, Ann. What?
Depends is a product that's sold in case people leak their hand. Isn't Depends adult diapers? Or am I? Was that a joke?
Oh, okay. Maybe it's. I thought it was like a question. I'm like,
Depends. You never heard of Depends?
We-
It's like
we-
diapers for adults.
we do have a way. Like, if he wants to know what he was betting so strong with, he can find out. Just not today.
Yeah, I'm
He'll have to wait for the replay to be posted on YouTube because we don't allow players to watch the stream at the table.
Right, we don't want anybody gaining an edge on their opponents.
Yeah, even though it's a 15-minute delay, we do not let them stream on their
We don't-
phones
we don't
at the
let them
game.
watch the stream. You got to get your info the old-fashioned way by playing and observing.
Like I said, or just wait till Josh posts the replay on YouTube the next day. You can find out tomorrow.
Does he post VODs on Twitch? Because I know that's
I
an option.
believe so.
Okay. It's possible you can set it up to automatically do that, I think. There's a hand developing between Julio and Robbie.
And
bad run out for Robbie because there's a couple overcards. If Julio,
yeah, he is ahead.
if Julio can,
And
he's definitely capable.
Julio's engaged in some thievery
He's
today.
definitely capable. Yeah, he instantly reaches for chips. Look at that, and it might work.
He's like, I'm gonna take your Kool-Aid.
To be fair, the way this hand was played out, I feel like
Yeah.
Robbie could be good here about half the time. It's not a good board.
Does he want to pay for information?
Yeah. Robbie's stack has been on a slightly downward hill. This could be a
Yeah,
momentum
that's
shift
another
for him.
factor. Like if he still had 520 like he did about 20 minutes ago,
Robbie
it's a
gonna
snap
look him
call.
up. That's a good call from Robbie. Julio says good call. Flips over 7 high. Good call from Robbie. Nice.
Flips it up.
instincts.
Sixes.
Good instincts, Robbie.
Hero call from Robbie.
Definitely a hero
And
call.
he'll get paid. Well, I don't think I can repeat that, Ann, here on the live stream. I do agree with that sentiment, and Josh is watching more often than not to make sure we're behaving ourselves.
Pay me. I like where your head is at.
Yeah, we're allowed to agree.
Nah. Most people who come into the chat are like, these guys have no idea what they're talking about.
Right, yeah. They'll be like, jeez,
I love it. I love when I get heckled.
it's the hockey guy again.
As
Damn
a
it.
poker dealer and a poker player, I am no stranger to being heckled.
But I've been on the stream team since we started. And
Wow.
those that know, they're all like, it's only like this during the hockey season. And the Panthers have been really good the last couple of years. So instead of 6 months, it's been 9 months, our hockey season.
Julio, 7-4 suited.
Right,
definitely
he's
has
not
range.
letting
We
that
know
loss, throw him.
Mhm.
He's like, I'm still going to play my way, and what happens, happens.
Andrew looking to defend with the 6-3 off. There's a lot of beautiful hands going to the flop. Julio just
Julio
gets there, bro.
just
This guy,
crushes that flop.
This guy gets there. Well, it's gonna be hard to get paid off, obviously. I think,
Yeah.
I think I would like to see him
Still,
check one
though.
time. Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably throw out a big bet just because I'd be giddy. I'm like 7-4, and I flop
I mean, I think
three of a kind. Heck yeah.
Your heads up against a big blind defend. I would have liked to see a check there.
Warren says, good call by Robbie. He's too good to keep getting bluffed. I mean, he didn't really get bluffed the last time.
I mean, Robbie's instincts are pretty good. I've seen him make some good calls in the past.
KJ suited against ace. What was it? Ace queen suited against KJ?
Ace 10 suited.
Ace 10 suited.
When he opened and Julio jammed.
Yeah, he had king jack. I mean,
that spot, that was on the cusp.
Yeah,
to be fair.
that's not really a bluff. Robbie did have a slight edge, but
it's hard to call off there because if you have 3 outs, it's a big bet. The 100K.
Julio's asking. He's like, "Hey, how much you got?" I'm like, whoa. With the hockey sticks.
I don't know. I think this hand's a little bit too good for Julio's range. He's going to open.
15.
Julio's range is more like 7-4, 6-3, 5-4 suited. No action. And just like that, Julio's
Not
already
this
recovered
time,
some of
right.
the chips that he lost to Robbie.
Hey, yo, it ain't about how much you get knocked down. It's how much you get knocked down and keep getting up. Back up.
Yeah, I like to think. I mean, I'm very much a student of the game. I like to think I'm a little better than that, but my showing at the dealer event at the WSOP kind of humbled me.
I don't study the game.
Yeah,
like I used to,
I'm still a student.
I mean, I've read plenty of books and content on poker, and I used to study the game like when I first got into it, and now it's all I've been dealing for years. I've been playing for years. It kind of just comes naturally. I enjoy talking about poker. That's what it comes down to. We appreciate you, Ann. Glad you're enjoying our. I'd like to say colorful commentary, but more like our silliness.
I did outlast Lisa Vanderpump at the dealer event.
Really?
I was about to protest because she's not a dealer. But apparently the fine print on the dealer event at the WSOP now is you have to be a casino employee.
Right.
And she bought like a whole section of the Paris resort.
So
where they had it. So they said technically she's in the casino. And the players were like, what? Come on. All right, she's dead money. Bring her in.
Yeah.
There's a meme of her with the dog on the table. I'm in that picture. I'm behind her. I'm not at her table. I'm at the next table, and I'm like behind her.
I think I played the WSOP dealers event like back in 2014. It was a fun experience.
Yeah.
Didn't go very well for me, but
I lasted about 6 hours on day one, and then I was out.
Yeah, I think I lasted like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, I kept getting it in good. Kept getting.
It was a tough field.
Kept getting sucked out. I was ahead every time I was in a big pot.
Jane just hates to bet her hand when she
yeah,
has
she
ace
just.
queen. Look at this.
It's like.
She
What's
found
that song? What the hell are you waiting for? I just when she checked the second time, that song just went off in my head.
Lincoln Park.
Yeah. Like I forget the title of the song, but that lyric is.
Yeah. You think that's what Jane's listening to in her headset?
Definitely not, because if she was listening to it, she'd be like, "Oh right, I should attack." I flop top pair with a great kicker, and I keep getting checked into.
What if she's listening to like Frank Sinatra?
Yeah, I mean, I love the slow play. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, that's not really. I mean, top pair. You can't slow play that, and you're giving your opponent more cards. No, attack in that spot. Like if you flop a set, like top set, okay, maybe you can milk him a little bit. Try to entice a bet out of him.
You're just missing streets of value when you don't bet your hand. That's all.
Well, I mean, if your opponent is first to act and they bet, then yeah, I'm just gonna say, hey, you want to drive? Drive, buddy. Enjoy. And then on the river, here comes that 3x tomahawk chop.
I feel like these two boys have been going at it.
Yeah.
Julio gets there. Oh, no,
yeah,
sorry,
Robbie gets there with the straight.
Robbie bet every street. I just realized Robbie bet he had a 6-high flush draw. He turned a pair open-ended with a flush draw. Rivered the nut. Sorry, not the nut. He rivered a straight.
Right.
Second nut straight.
I mean, he came along for the flush draw.
Well, Julio
and just
tried to call
hit runner for the straight. So sometimes you don't always hit the draw you want, but it's the draw
think
you
Robbie-
need.
I think the flop he bet for information. On the turn, he picked up a bunch of equity, so he bet that. And then on the river, he just made a hand. So it's like,
Here's our-
those are my favorite types of hands. You know that?
Yeah.
You bluff the flop, you bluff the turn, and on the river, you make a hand. Those
Right.
are my favorite types of hands.
Julio and Robbie are starting to pull away from the field in the V pip.
Yeah.
It was pretty even for most of the first half, I'd
Yeah.
say, of our broadcast.
They've been pretty active. both of
But right, I mean, they're now they're starting to throw their chips around. I was gonna say the chip stacks being what they are and the blinds keep going up. I'm like, it cannot stay this way forever. Something's gonna give. Does Robbie play Nintendo? He certainly does.
6-4 suited. It's a multi-way hand. Look at this. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players.
And here's Brian with a suited ace and
He's-
4 opponents.
He's never jamming.
Right, I mean,
Let's just check it. Well, I'm just saying his style of play. I don't see him raising.
yeah.
it. Even if you have the best hand, though, you got under the gun limper. You got 3 other limpers.
That's too much riffraff, though. I mean, sure, it doesn't cost you any more money, but
I'm just saying. I
it's
knew he was-
really hard with ace-5 to beat out 4 people.
King 10-7.
Right.
James open-ended. Julio flops top and bottom. 2 pair.
Yep.
Andrew has a pair of 10s. It's like a little bit of something for everybody except for Robbie and Brian.
Yeah.
And the person
Checked
with no equity
around,
bets it. I love it.
0 equity, and
go.
he fires
Hey,
instantly.
he's got a backdoor flush draw.
Just
got
because he
something.
hit runner last time doesn't mean he's hitting it this time.
Interesting. Now Julio with 2 pair. Do you pounce here or do you let guys
No,
keep
Robbie's
bluffing out?
driving. Let him drive.
Nah, he just jammed. He jammed all in.
Eh.
I agree with you. I think he could have.
Right, he might have got one more bet out of
He
him.
didn't want to allow others
Because
to draw out. on
Robbie
him.
is sure as hell not going to call. I don't think anybody's calling. Yeah. That's why I would say let him drive, because
Yeah.
yes, you have the money, but if you want any more,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't come out that strong.
I mean, Julio has the best hand, yes, but right, you're not getting a lot of value on your hand when you just jam all in. I guess he just said there was.
Right, he bet
players in
into
this
you.
hand.
Let him.
There's too many players in this hand.
Now, no matter what comes on the next card, you know, Robbie probably checks.
Yeah. 5 of
So
heart on
then
the
if he
turn.
checks again, that's when you come with the chop.
Best possible hand on the turn.
Or the
you-
attack.
Best possible card. If Robbie hit a 5 of heart on the turn, he would open-handed with
Right.
a flush draw. That would have been a wild run out. But Julio avoided any. I think it's not. Also, when you have a mediocre hand like King 7, you flop 2 pair, maybe you don't really want to
Right.
risk too much.
Yeah, if it's just the king or
Right.
just a right, it's different. But you flop 2 pair, dude.
On the big.
And running hearts, Robbie needed, and not just any hearts. If there's king or a 7 of hearts.
Look at these two going. I love it. These two are just going at it again and again. Everybody else is kind of staying out the way.
Round 2. Fight.
Julio top pair. Robbie
And Robbie
bottom
bets
pair.
into him again.
They both have a backdoor flush draw. Technically a backdoor straight draw.
Now this time he just calls, and that's a bit more dangerous.
Diamond on the turn for Robbie.
And this is why it's dangerous.
He picks up equities.
Because right, Julio doesn't have 2 pair this time. He just has
Yeah.
1.
and
So
a weak
he's,
kicker.
yeah,
but
he's not as strong as last time.
I like.
Call.
Oh, yo. Whoa!
All in
Robbie
and call.
jams the
Snippity
Julio
snap.
calls. Oh boy.
River card.
Oh
A
man,
9.
I would have loved
So
to see that.
Julio.
Okay. Julio, the
doubles
new chip leader,
up.
bro. New chip leader there. Holy. Oh no, he's not. Wow.
No.
Robbie still got a massive amount of chips. I thought he doubled up for like 150.
No.
Robbie still got just under 400.
Because Julio lost a couple
Yeah. But Julio's got just under 300K
this last
now.
orbit. Yeah.
Still a pretty big hand. It's a big hand for Julio.
And no, and I love the move from Robbie, even though it didn't work out for him. Because
Yeah,
if
Robbie's got heart.
if he hits that draw,
He's got
he
all
not
the
only
chips.
knocks out his closest rival
Mhm.
on the table, but he's got like 12x to the rest of the table.
You know, I also like. I want to give Julio credit on just the fact that he snap called. Maybe he just in his head said, "I'm not folding this hand to this
Right.
opponent," or maybe he just had the right read on the situation. But I mean, He didn't even take the time to think about it.
But something tells me that will not be the last time those two do battle in this game. It's still Robbie's chip lead, but not as pronounced.
Where's 18?
Julio continuing to fire. 10-8 this time. Andrew with a decision. I mean,
Yeah, he's gonna
18K,
go.
right. He's
Yeah.
only got 52K left, so.
Julio is now on the hunt for some chips. I mean, he looks like he might call this one just for bounty hunting. We really haven't seen it yet. And Julio, he already put 18 in. He's gonna call what, like 30 something.
Right.
more.
It's right, and it's not.
This is the time for bounty
It's
hunting.
not
Yep.
very risky.
Open-ended.
Uh-oh,
for
open-ended.
He
And he
banks it.
hits it.
Banks it.
He hits the runner for the straight. Are you kidding me?
That's what happens when you have enough chips to start
He's
bounty
just.
hunting.
I mean,
It's
you're
just like
right.
You're looking for 50K bounties. 50K or cheaper bounties.
Wow.
You can just. Yep. Now we got the chips flying. We're six-handed at this point. We're still.
Right.
We're actually.
Still,
the
we're
money
not to the
bubble.
money yet.
We're
It's
on
the
the
bubble
now. So bubble play is in effect, and I feel like this is the time where people like Robbie and Julio, who have already been active, it's time to really start to apply pressure to the small stacks, because
Right.
the small stacks want to get in the money before they make a move. Realistically, you don't really want to be the bubble. You don't want to get this far and just bubble.
Right, the big blind. I mean, I kept waiting for him to say it. No value.
Oh, it's dead small.
Right, it's that small.
I mean, Richard's got a very playable hand here.
Yeah, and he's
I
the
think
shortest stack
you
is the
don't-
big blind. You
Yeah.
have to attack in
It's
a bounty tournament.
It's on the bubble. It's all in or fold. Yeah, and he's
Right.
gonna go all in. It's a good. That's the correct play there, I think. Ruben, short stack and a decent
That's a
hand.
good hand.
Yeah, I
That's
know,
better
but
than
it's a
decent. That's
tough spot.
pretty good.
Good fold by Ruben. Good instincts. Good fold.
Folds it.
Because you don't want to call off there on the bubble. I think if it wasn't
Right.
the bubble, he might have been
But
more,
he
more
was
willing to
12K
get it in.
into it. That was a
Yeah.
third of his stack, though.
Yeah.
That's a tough laydown.
He got like 20 or 30 behind.
23 behind.
Good laydown, Ruben.
Because just looking at Richard's hands, I'm like, no, there's one move.
Mm-hmm. It's just the fact that it's under the gun. It's like it's the worst time to have that hand, really, on the bubble under the gun. But it worked out because nobody.
Yeah,
was happy.
position-wise, it wasn't good. But
Nobody woke up with ace
and
king or ace
if
queen.
this wasn't a bounty tournament, I wouldn't have been as adamant in saying you have to be aggressive there,
Yeah.
because that is part of it.
True, very true.
You just got to eliminate one person to get to the money, and you get, more money for the bounty. So Robbie raises with ace-5 suited. Jane calls with ace-5 suited. It's diamonds versus spades here, as if Richard folds, which he does. Spades or diamonds is the order of the day.
Ace
They both have two
five,
pairs,
look
so
at this.
nobody's
To be
folding ever.
fair, Jane is free rolling.
Jane,
She's got the only
yes.
backdoor
Jane,
flush draw, but
Jane cannot lose. She can only win.
if this ain't the time for her to raise, yeah,
Right,
finally, there we go.
25?
Dealer almost brought it into the pot. He's like, wait a minute, that was a raise.
He was actually not
caught it. He's
expecting her
like,
he wasn't expecting her to
little
raise.
check swing there. He didn't go around. He's still good. Robbie's like, yeah? Well, there's no flush. He's not folding ever.
All in a call.
All in and a call.
Jane with the backdoor free
Jane
roll.
with running diamonds. Anything but
I
running
know.
diamonds
I
will
just-
be a chop.
Just sweat on the turn, right?
No.
No.
All
no.
done.
I'm
Yeah.
shocked.
Hearts. He didn't limber up enough, apparently. Yes, this is a big reason why Josh watches the show as often as he can live, and also watches the replays. He looks for stuff for his clip show, his highlights.
Wait, what are we? What's the highlight she's talking about? What content?
I recommend stuff to Josh, like just the run out, nobody hitting.
Oh.
It's Richard with the 9-4 suited. I know it's only 3K, but you're like, yeah. All right, Robbie and Jane again, except this time the hands aren't good. Well, they didn't start off good. Robbie flops 2 pair, Jane flops a 7.
Robbie checked it, Jane bet it. Interesting. Robbie wasting no time.
Nope.
Ready
Say,
putting
give
it up
me
there.
them's mine ducats.
35.
Wow, Jane is not ready to give up on this one.
No.
Heads up.
Heads up action. Ace or a 7 is what Jane needs. That's not an ace or a 7. You'd say Robbie really wants this hand. Probably knows Jane is on a big draw. Does not want her to get there. That is.
There's no draws though. That's what I'm very surprised.
Right.
What does Robbie think she has?
Yeah, before every tournament, we give them the rundown of placing the cards in the box. Sometimes, especially with the Moneymaker Tour, we had a lot of players that don't regularly play here, so there was a little bit of issue with that.
She doesn't believe him. Look at this one.
But yeah, today's crew, great job. With that, river card, a 9.
To be fair, it almost looks very bluffy. Like
Right.
Robbie's trying to push him around. I think Jane maybe she thinks he's
I mean, well,
she thinks she doesn't
now
have
there's 2 overs to her 7.
right.
If it was another rag,
Maybe she put him on king 7.
right. Well, no, but I mean,
I'm just very surprised.
just
to see
with
her,
a 7.
surprised to see her get this deep in the hand with the second pair on the flop. I mean, I guess she's got the nut second pair. Oh, this is can't really.
Yeah,
really
she's
call
got a
it
lot
fair.
invested in this pot. That might
Correct.
also make it tough for her to fold it.
She's left with she's left with nothing. She's left with 45K.
Yeah. You almost have to call just for the value. Well, it is factoring Robbie's all in, so it's not really 491. It's really 175.
16, yeah.
But still, 175K pot for 45. That's, I mean, the value's still there.
4 to 1-ish, yeah. Yep. She calling because she just
Yep. 2 per.
Robbie getting max value from the big blind. Jack deuce off.
I mean, that's another with a board like that. I mean, nobody sees Jack Deuce coming, but it's the big blind, and nobody raised pre-flop.
Right.
There's zero way you could
But
put him on a
now,
hand, and
what
he
do you-
just flopped a monster.
What do you think about this hand happening on the bubble? You think maybe Jane forgot we're on the money bubble?
I do not know.
Now that we're officially in the money. Ruben
And that-
happy.
That's also
Ruben happy to see
Yeah,
that
I
hand
know.
happen. Look at
Ruben's
this
like
throw.
with his 20K, he's all like, "I'm in the
And
money."
And
Yes.
again, that's what I'm talking about. Like ICM says that I think Jane should have avoided that hand in general, but you know,
Yeah.
she had a read. She went with
Fifth
it.
place, $848 plus whatever bounties Ruben might have if he is indeed the next to go.
Sometimes you make a read and
But-
it's the wrong read, but you go with it.
Brian, 5-handed, we're in the money. You got 5s, buddy. Make a move. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, it's time to step it up. Robbie Jack 10 off.
Yeah,
good enough.
Robbie.
Julio it just needs 2 cards. That's all he needs.
3 players.
Warren, you make a good
Yeah.
point there, buddy. You make a good point. I've learned that lesson the hard way.
All right. Robbie got the best of that, but there's an ace out there. Brian. He hasn't played much, and he just bet the pre-flop and the flop. So I probably put him on an ace if I'm playing against him, and that's a tough spot. If I have a jack, as Robbie does. Oh yeah, we agree with that. And like I said, I agreed with the move to go all in just because of the equity. And you can't put him on Jack Deuce. I mean, even though he was the big blind, and
Right. Well, the real
you
problem
have
is
no clue what he
you
could possibly
really-
had in a limped pot.
what are you really beating there?
Right.
Not much.
Yeah, the second over.
Check.
I mean, 2 overs, any jack, any 9
I
would
mean,
have beaten
to be
her.
fair, Robbie is definitely capable of making a move with no hand,
Right.
but
And he got to see the flop for
I just
free as
think-
the big blind. That's
just
what
think
makes it so dangerous.
on the bubble wasn't the correct time to look him up.
Yeah.
But I respect, she's got a heart. She went for it. She made a read. She went for it. It didn't work out for her.
Right. I would have taken a look at the pot and my chip stack, and I'm like, well, doggone it, I got to call. Even though I'm probably beat.
I think Ruben's all in pretty much on the next big blind.
He has
12,
23
15.
left.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, he'll have
15K.
3. It's this hand or next, pretty much. Not
Yep.
technically. He'll have 3K behind.
This might be a hand for him.
I
too.
mean, any ace.
Yeah. I believe so too.
You think you're gonna- yeah, you-
that's exactly what we were thinking.
You think you're going to do better than ace 7
No.
next time?
No.
The stats say no.
No. Any ace, short stack under the gun, and you're about to be all in. Yeah, gotta go for it.
Robbie with a suited jack 8. And a chance to get a bounty.
Bounty. I think
Yeah,
this is where
you gotta
got a
play
bounty.
this one.
Robbie's gonna start bounty hunting. This might actually invite Julio into the pot because we know all he needs is 2 cards to get involved.
And he gets a discount. No, I'm wrong. He didn't have 23K. He had 20K. So, yeah, he's all in blind next hand if he doesn't go in this time.
He would have had like 15K left over. The blinds at 3-6 still or no?
All right, 3 players, 1 all
Or are they
in.
4-8? Actually, I don't know. Depends. Either way, he was either all in or had
Right.
5K behind.
So to the flop.
Check. Check.
Nothing.
Check.
Still nothing. Ruben's ace high is winning.
Can Ruben bink? Can he whiff?
A 7. Ruben hits
Ruben.
it. He didn't even need it.
Didn't
He
need-
was
just
already
needed to
ahead.
Avoid a
Yeah,
jack
but
8 or
all
5, really. So everybody bounty hunting, but Ruben gets a nice little
Right.
triple up there. Well,
Triple up.
much needed.
I mean,
Actually, a little better. Oh, wait, no. It was, yeah, because 2
20
players.
triple up plus the
triple up,
blind.
right,
plus
so
the
a
big
little
blind,
better.
Yep.
Warren, don't ever let me catch you say that again.
What is this, Poker Stars?
I hate. God,
Yeah,
I hate
I
that.
don't like
I
it. Yeah,
hate
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And not
When-
because I'm some kind of
When the diamonds are-
traditionalist
when
or
the diamonds are
anything,
blue
right?
And the clubs are green. Yeah.
And it's just that red and black.
To be fair,
They stand out
Warren,
and they're so easy to see. But when you start with the colors kind of get softer and everything, it to me it just opens up more room for visual mistakes,
Do
both
we
on the
have-
player and the dealer.
And my question is, do we have the capability to do that? I'm pretty sure our software does not allow that. I'm almost positive.
Oh, I thought he meant not just for the stream table, just for the room in general.
Oh God, please no.
No, no. Nobody likes that idea.
Are there 4 colored cards decks out there?
There are. But I remember the first time I saw him on TV, and I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
the first time I
red,
saw 'em
black.
was
I'm
on-
like, now we're doing green and blue. Ugh.
on the poker, poker software, like whatever, back in the Poker Stars days, Full Tilt Poker days. I remember you had the option for that, and I just thought it looked so irregular. It looked wrong to me. I don't
Right,
know.
and for some people,
It feels wrong. Some people they can distinguish
I don't want to
the
say
3, 4
right.
colors
I don't want to say
better.
color blindness, but green and blue, I'm like, they're kind of close on the color spectrum. And if your eyes aren't perfect, I mean, you can mix them up.
Raise to 20.
Like I said, it's really hard to mess up red and black.
True.
I'm on.
Raise all in.
All right, Brian is picked now to get aggressive.
3 out of 4 aces.
Ooh, Richard with ace-7 suited, and he folds it. Robbie, he's going to call him with ace-5.
Richard grabbed his hand like, damn it, I have the best of it, and he let it go.
Well, why are you watching suits when you're driving, Warren? Hopefully he doesn't live anywhere near me, and I never come across him. Man, a 6, 4. So Brian gets his 6.
Robbie needs like not that card. That's
not that card.
Not that card.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what he needs, but not that.
He needed like a 3 or a 7 to
terrible.
have a straight draw.
All right, so Brian's going to double up off of Robbie.
I can actually hear that in your mic.
Oh.
The fan.
Well, yeah,
It's
can't hear it now.
I just noticed it. No, I can't hear it now.
No, it's very sensitive.
We are 5-handed.
Oh, you got him beat?
Huh?
You beat him?
No, I said I asked him, do you like hitting your 6 on the flop? You know, I'm like, fuck, you're pretty much free.
Why would he not like that?
Oh, I hate hitting my pair on the flop.
Doggone it, out-flopping my opponent. It's just the worst.
Flopping your opponent.
Ace-5, ace-6, and I get the 6.
Oh, the piano? She was very proud too. She like calling me. Yeah, calling me early in the morning, blowing my phone with text. I'm like, what the hell? So I looked at her. I won a tournament. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm thinking like a big one. She said,
Like I said, I'm on my own for dinner, and it's like, man.
She was very happy.
I mean, I know it's a fast food joint, but I'm thinking maybe Bud's getting the fish, not the chicken.
Where is she? Where is she
Bud's.
getting the food from? Bud's?
No, me.
Oh.
As soon as we're done here.
Oh.
Because they do the breaded fried cod. In my opinion, best fish in town.
10?
Never been.
It's pretty good. The chicken,
Between you and Ann, you guys are making me hungry.
yeah. I'd pass on the chicken
Mhm.
for literally everywhere else that has chicken.
Mm.
I don't like the chicken.
That is 25.
I'm only saying that because all of my playoff tickets has got my budget running low. Otherwise, I'd recommend the fabulous Paddock Restaurant here at PBKC. Full menu. Head over to pbkennelclub.com to get a look at that, including the marvelous tomahawk steak. And as soon as, like I said, my finances get better and after this playoff runs over, man, I'm going to give me that tomahawk because it looks amazing. They brought it to one of the players, one of the pit players that they ordered it from, and I'm like,
It looked amazing.
I must have that tomahawk. Just not this paycheck. Next paycheck ain't looking so good either.
Robbie with the nice pot size bet. Actually, I was gonna say it's an over bet, but
Yeah, it's
came to 98. It's a pot
obviously
size bet.
Julio's demolished, and
It's
I
just
I don't think he calls them in bet.
No, of
to be
course
honest.
not. But Robbie's hoping that Julio has something,
right,
and he bombed Robbie bombing the river to make it look like
boat over boat. He's all like, "Come on, let me have a pocket 4s or something."
that would be bad for Robbie. Pocket 4s would be bad. He had 3s full.
Yeah, careful out there, Ann. It's still pretty hot. I agree. Steps are important. I do walking as well, but it's just too it's just too fucking hot down here. I have to wait for the sun to go down. Walk a few laps around the neighborhood. It's almost perfect because
What, 100-degree weather?
no, I mean just doing laps because a few extra steps plus 9 laps around it is exactly 5K. So when I train for the Rooney 5K, I know it's at 9 laps.
Oh, nice.
I don't have to worry about measurement or timing myself or nothing. Well, like I said, Ann, I don't know if Andrew is here, if he's supposed to be here.
Me?
I'm filling in. I wasn't on
I'm
this
supposed
shift.
to be here. That's what I'm
Okay,
saying. I
you
was
are
surprised
supposed to be here. Okay.
I was surprised to see you here.
Right. Because I did the show Wednesday and I did production on Friday, so this is my 3rd show this week.
Oh, no kidding. Well, I know Gio was supposed to be off this week, but Josh didn't realize, and he put him on the schedule.
Well, Josh knows me. He's like, he said the Panthers played last night. They don't play tonight, and I need your help. So I'm like, all right, I'll do it.
That's funny.
We're playing tomorrow, and I'm like,
Wow. Robbie gets there, except for it puts out. Oh no, Julio gets there.
The
Julio gets
runner,
there.
runner straight against Robbie's 2 pair.
It
That
gives
could have been a
Robbie 2
lot
pair.
more painful.
If it wasn't the Queen of Clubs, it would have been a bigger
Right.
pot, I think. Yeah.
I was surprised there wasn't as much pain, but then I'm like, yeah, 4 clubs.
Nobody like that river.
Not a bunch of bologna, says Ann. Right. I don't know. I kind of like bologna. I should be so much more of a food snob.
Still making me hungry.
I mean,
talking about bologna.
My wife is a chef, so I should be conditioned to hate bologna by now. But you know, in the old neighborhood, everybody was poor. You know what? I like bologna. Sue me.
Don't mind me some bologna.
Yeah, give me some of the
Bologna
cheap bread from the
sandwich.
Publix, some bologna. Put a little mayo on it. That's a sandwich.
Raise to 20.
Of course, I didn't have real bologna till after college. Just what I thought was bologna. That like dollar pack of, what do you call it, S-bar stuff? That's the bologna we
I mean,
like it's not even actual bologna.
the word bologna makes me think of Oscar Mayer.
Right. There's that tall Josh. Comfort food.
Comfort food.
But I didn't know actual bologna was beef. The rest is just imitation. And then I had, you know, the beef, and I'm like, wow, this is much
yeah.
better. Why didn't we get this when I was growing up in the ghetto? And then I looked at the price tag. I'm like, oh, that's why. It's like 4 times as much. I'm like that. That's why Mom and Dad didn't get us the beef.
Wow, look at this. They both got a pair and a gut shot. And they get it in.
Yep.
Ruben
We're either going to
Short.
get an elimination or a crippling.
Yeah.
Turn card, a deuce, no help. 9 or an 8 only. And nope, no nada. So Brian has eliminated Ruben, who's been kind of skating the edge for the last half hour.
He barely got into the money. Got into the money pretty much by folding.
Right.
I mean,
Folded
he
his
attacked
way
a
to the
couple-
top
yeah,
5.
Yep. You
Kept
know,
his
it's tough.
composure. He was very cool, very calm.
It's tough when
especially
it's
when
just-
Jane was eliminated on that hand. Because if it had been me, I'd have done a little. I'd have danced a little jig.
I would have been so happy to get into the money with 20, 30K.
I would have done the FF victory dance.
But yeah, it's tough for Ruben. He really didn't have any cards to play today. He didn't have much to go with.
Dun, 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 dun. It's probably so much better for
Is that it's old it's a NES song. What was that from?
it's, all of them.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
Is that
It's
Legend
when
of
you win a
Zelda?
fight in the Final Fantasy series, and they're
yeah,
still going.
yeah,
They just
yeah.
released
I
16 this year.
I recognize that from somewhere. It's an old school NES.
But yeah, it was an old school NES as well. Yeah, that's the 8-bit version of the dance. It's very easy. You just sit here, and then you just put a fist up and then back down. Because that's all they could do with 8-bit.
We are now 4-handed. And now it's looking like Richard is a short stack.
So yes, although
Ryan's
Ruben
got
was
this.
sadly eliminated, he's walking home with whatever bounties he acquired and $848. Not a
shabby.
bad day's work. Josh, read all of Ann's comments. Not kidding.
Put her in charge.
No, don't put her in
She wants us-
charge.
He wants us to get paid.
King 10. Gets Robbie to fold. And now that we're in the money, I'm kind of expecting the play to open up a bit. All right, Brian folds that 6-5. Richard with an 8 tray, but he's kind of short stacked, so he throws it out.
Raise to 20.
Robbie says, I want your blinds, and Danny, and you're going to give them to me.
Oh no, it's 5-3 offsuit.
And
It's in
Julio's like
range,
5-3
bro.
offsuit,
That's in his
and says,
range,
you're not
bro.
going to bully me, sir.
These two have been going at it. These
Wow.
two have been going at it.
Defends with 5-3.
Did he just flopped the
Yeah, he flopped. Yeah, he did. He flopped the 3.
Yeah.
Robbie does not care. Keeps firing. Julio just either really, I mean, has he ever played Yu-Gi-Oh? He's really believing in the heart of the cards. Robbie was just kind of bluffing before. Now he's got the goods.
Definitely hit a pair.
And checks.
Sneaky.
Yeah, you're giving him a free card. I'm not sure about that move.
Jack on the river, safe. Robbie's got. Now, did he go for value? He's gonna go.
Because he was so aggressive, I kind of wanted him to stick with betting there.
Right. I'm pretty sure all the biggest pots of the tournament have been between those two.
Right. They're. All right, Richard and Brian back in the danger zone. I mean, when you're short stacked, it kind of, yes, it does put pressure on you in a normal situation, but seeing Robbie and Julio just go back and forth, if I'm a short stack, I'm like, you know what? I could probably legit fold my way to second.
They keep going at it.
Right. I'm like,
very possible.
it's like you're the army guys on the ground watching Godzilla and King Kong fight. And if they want to fight, I say let them fight. I'll just be over here in the corner. Take my chances with the exhausted winner.
Sit back and watch the fireworks. Ooh. Julio, snap call. King Jack.
Yeah, Robbie may have as well, but he stepped away from the table to take a call.
Richard just looking to make a move. He's got like what is a playable hand, pretty much hoping. I think he's kind of hoping.
The blinds are about to eat him.
But yeah, Julio with enough chips to snap that one off. Oh,
it's an 8, but a flush draw for Julio.
Correct. Got
10,
more outs
yeah,
Julio.
for a straight draw.
Rick City.
All those outs, and he can't hit one.
Rick City.
I mean, you've been dealing poker a long time, yeah. And as have I. And doesn't that always seem like the way when you only got 2 or 3 outs, the guy gets there?
Yes.
But if they have like 15, 16 outs, they never hit anything.
I hate when I have too many outs and they brick. It's like there is a such thing as having too many outs.
Right.
And I've seen it a million times.
And when I play, I got to kind of keep my composure, like, hey, good hand. Or if I get busted out, I'm like, good luck, fellas.
Yeah.
You know,
and
because you don't want to be. But then I get out to my car, and, well, I'm not going to say what I say when I get to the car because it's not fit for broadcast. But
that's fair.
It's not nice.
I've done it.
Right. Nobody likes to see the meltdowns.
I did play a tournament on Wednesday, and
in the
apparently
poker room.
Ace-King does not beat Ace-5 all in pre-flop.
Yeah, don't let Helmuth fool you. Like, whenever he blows up, I'm like, people don't actually want to see that. Maybe on TV, but not when you're playing.
I try to keep it professional and cordial. Yeah, nice hand. Well played. He had Ace-5. He 3-bet me all in. After I've been playing solid, I bet with Ace-King. He jammed on top of me. I'm like,
oh, you did?
And he was in for 3 bullets. Like, no wonder you're in for 3 bullets, bud.
I was trying to stall as long as I could. But yeah.
I mean, that's what I did when I got knocked out of the WSOP. I just calmly left. I'm like, I can't believe I played that, and he hit runner.
Nice hand.
Yeah, it'd be covered by like a chip.
That's tough.
It was. And then I walked out of there. I was like, ugh. That's all Josh said comfort food a while ago. That's exactly what I did, Josh. I went a few resorts down from where they had the WSOP at the Paris. And I went to the Wynn Buffet. I said, I'm going to drown my sorrows in king crab legs and prime rib.
Nice.
I was ahead pre-flop, but the flop just fucked it up.
Here we go for it.
You can't take a guy my size and offer him unlimited king crab legs and prime rib. They're like $80. That's ooh, I must have ate like $200 worth of food.
Wow.
I said I'm gonna get my $85 worth. here's the flop. Robbie gets the best bet with a 10. Julio. Ooh, well, he picks up a flush draw now with his 4 diamonds.
4 high flush draw.
Bet at 15.
Is that a value bet? Because it can't be he's trying to get Julio out of the hand. I was going to say, I'm very surprised to see him fold for 15K in that pot. We just saw him defend a big line with 5-3. Cumulative winnings. I mean, Robbie, he took a big hit from Julio earlier, but he seems to got most of it back.
Yeah, he was up to like 550, then down to like 3 or 350, and now he's back up to probably the 500 range. 550 maybe. I can't tell. Actually, he's got more like closer to 6.
All right, Brian doubled up earlier. He's got 124K, 488 level. So each orbit's going to cost you 20K.
Raise to 16.
A min raise? That's
Under the gun, the suited king.
That's puzzling.
You don't want to put too many, I guess. And I think he got exactly what he wanted. He isolated.
Right.
He's in position against one other player. It's four-handed.
Except it's Julio.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't want that. Okay, now he loves it.
Top pair for Brian.
Gets the top pair. I mean, Julio needs runner pretty much.
Could get a queen of hearts on
But
the
he
turn.
could. I mean, he's been getting the runners.
I know.
So that he's probably not intimidated by that flop at all.
Bet at 22.
22 is a nice healthy size bet. Take it right down. Yep. Take it down, Brian. Oh man, I say I'm hungry now, man.
All right, except for Robbie, everybody else is in the danger zone. And you need to take that danger zone a lot more seriously four-handed because it's all fun and games to say you only got 8 orbits when the table's full.
20 bigs. Everybody has 20 bigs. or
Right,
less.
but four-handed, those orbits are going to come pretty quick.
Yeah. And 50% of the time you're a blind.
Yeah. I mean, Robbie's he's really the only one that can afford to sit back and pick his spots.
I don't think he's gonna do that.
Well,
And
with
as I
Jack
say
Sat-
that,
well,
he opens
right,
and
he
checks.
opens. I mean,
It
he can
just-
pick his spots, but
Robbie knows that this is a good time to start leaning. on
right.
people.
But I mean, you got to bully the table when you got this much of a chip advantage. Make the other players risk real equity
And just
to see a
dwindle 'em
flop.
down. Yeah. Dwindle them down. Yeah, like I said, Robbie and Julio have been going at it, and they're definitely the two have been involved in hands the most often. It's been fun to watch.
All right, here's Robbie with J Tray, suited. Yeah. 32 against Richard's 10-4. I actually like Robbie and Julio's hands a lot better. Ball 4, take your base. I think Robbie's just very contemplative. I mean, come on, he can't be bored. Look at
I
this
was
chip lead.
just gonna
You
say, I think
cannot be bored with
he's that,
that.
but
It's
he looks bored.
impossible. He looks bored, but
Maybe he's not bored.
it's a lie. It's what he wants you to think.
Uh-huh.
You think he's tired and out of it, and then bam, he's got you. Robbie sitting there with King 10 suited. And gets raised into.
He's gonna defend for sure.
Huh, just calls. I thought he might have repopped him there. A little bit,
He wants to play
but
poker.
no.
Wants to play poker, and they both get a pair with a goodie.
Ooh.
Check, check. They're both
Yeah.
open-ended with a
Yep.
pair open-ended. I don't see anybody folding. Yep.
Yeah. A yak. What?
Wow, actually, Julio
How?
gets
Julio gets
is-
there,
He's
man.
really good at getting there.
Yeah, man.
Wow, and Robbie snapped.
Robbie had him
Yeah.
demolished. But he gets that jack.
Queen or 7, they were chopping. The jack was the only card. You got a 2-outer.
Only card.
Julio, master of getting there.
All right. I'm not sure Robbie put his hands in the box that time, so we can't see his hand. But Richard's got an ace-jack suited. Pretty good. How good? All in good. Well, that mystery hand couldn't have been that good.
20K for free.
I mean, those cards were mucked before that all-in button hit the felt.
That's up the tournament up there. Still 4-8. You'll be up in 5 minutes.
All right. Next dealer's in. With that, Julio escapes the danger zone.
Can't help but notice
For
that Robbie's been hovering
now.
at 40-50% of the chips
Right.
pretty much all day, man.
And he's gotten it in good in the big pots that he's paid. It's
Yep.
just Julio just keeps sucking out
Gets there.
on him.
Julio gets there.
I mean, the math said Julio should have been gone like
Hmm.
3 battles ago.
Yeah, that's not how poker math always works out.
Right. He is defying the math with this game today.
Robbie opening with the 4 high, suited 3-4. Julio just needs he doesn't need an ace in his hand to defend. He needs 2 cards. Brian might want to get involved with these
I
boys.
mean, suited connectors.
Yeah.
You're gonna get blinded out if you don't spin the wheel sometime.
Spade.
Good time to spin the wheel.
Hard draw for Robbie. 2 pair for Brian.
Brian,
9
yeah.
6s.
It's a good spot.
Robbie's
Again,
got a
for
flush
now,
draw.
right?
He found-
Robbie.
He's got a reason to bet. Bink.
28.
Ow. Brian's all in.
Ooh, does Robbie want to chance this? I mean, he pretty much. It's only 28K more. He kind of has to, right?
No, it's got to be more than that. No, what did he bet? What did he bet? 28. 104.
Yeah, the graphics. Okay. All right, the graphics update. 104,
76
but
more, Robbie's
still
got a flush draw. He'd go for it.
chance to eliminate another player.
I mean, I like Robbie's chances. Oh, he's got 7-3. He's
More
double
outs for the
gutted.
straight,
He
and he hits the
flush.
heart.
Nice hand, bro. Wow.
Hits the heart.
Bam.
And even though he took that hit from Julio on that draw, well, he gets another bounty. He's just south of 700K. And if you thought the orbits were fast before,
Here we go.
they're
300.
crazy fast. You get one free hand every orbit, and that's it. But nothing to hang your head about. Brian played a very conservative game, outlasted a lot of the players, and he's walking home with just south of $1,000 today, $995.
Brian was another one similar to Ruben. He didn't have a lot to go with, so the fact that he
Right.
made it this far on very few hands is pretty impressive.
Let me play a game where I fold my way out for 2 hours and get $1,000.
I would-
Yeah, that never happens to
Love
me.
it. Sounds great. Sounds like a great deal.
I'm lucky if I can fold my way to the money.
Now I think we're going to see a lot of attacking from Robbie and Julio and Richard, who's been pretty quiet today. Again, it's another one who's
Right,
chipped up quietly.
Richard's like, can I get him to fight
Richard's
one
got
more
some-
time
yeah, he
and
could
get that
ladder up.
second place money?
If these two could go at it, Richard would ladder up. I mean, I think Richard, I can't remember him having anything other than those pocket tens hands.
Right.
I mean, he's picked his spots pretty well. He's gotten this far, but I think we're going to see some real fireworks here from Julio and Robbie.
5-4 off. This is a lousy time to to go card dead. When you want to fight so bad. But then you get stuff like that. Getting tired and hungry? I've been tired and hungry since like 1 o'clock. And I came in at 9.
Oh, wow. I got here at like 3.
The power of coffee compels me.
Coffee sounds great right now. I need some food.
I did
need
hit
some comfort
the
food.
I did hit the carton of chilled coffee that I got at the house. I hit it pretty hard this morning. I just had a feeling I was going to need it, and I was right. K9 plays at the Kennel Club. It's K9 against Hockey Sticks.
Here they go. Robbie
Round
versus
3.
Willie. This is like
Fights.
Round 17.
Yeah, round 17.
Fights.
Both have a flush draw. Robbie's is better.
Gut shot, 2 overs and a flush draw. Can this be too many outs?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it all day. Too many outs never hits. 2 outers hit all the time.
Don't see Robbie folding for 20, is it? Can he peel one more? Yeah.
He's like, well, he's going to check his chip stack a little bit
The
first.
potential implied odds. Julio's got 150 behind. I guess I could see Robbie folding. And just
Yeah,
saying,
you're not really
"Ah,
scared
you
of a
know."
straight. You're not too
Right.
scared of a flush. You're a little scared of a flush
Right.
in that
But you got
spot,
the
but
king.
not much.
Bang.
And there's the
He
queen,
gets
and
the
he
queen.
gets there with the straight.
And you can't when Robbie raises with King 9. I can't. I'm never putting Julio on Ace King since he didn't 3-bet free. Wow.
He's
is
going
Julio
to bet,
contemplating this
and
one?
Julio is. I mean, there's 3 overs to his 7s.
Yeah. But again, these guys have been playing so many hands together that I think Julio. Yeah, Julio just doesn't believe him.
Ooh.
He was almost right. Robbie had nothing until the river.
Yeah, K9. Well,
was
I
almost
wouldn't say he had nothing. He had a monster draw.
He had a draw, but I thought it was going to be too many outs.
Pretty good draw.
Robbie now chipping up to just under, just shy of 800K.
And I think Julio and Richard are about the same in chips.
There it is, 100K.
Oh no, Richard's got him
132K.
by 30K.
He's got 8 out of the 4.
And Robbie's sitting there with just south of
77%
800K.
of the chips. He's got 2/3,
And
3/4.
he's-
Sorry, 3/4 of the chips.
He's
though.
the only one that gets a free hand. He's like, and they've just for being there, they've got to put up more chips. So you're loving life right now if you're Robbie.
The rich get richer. Robbie looking.
Oh, the blinds
bored.
go up. Oh, the blinds went up too. 5, 10, 10.
Robbie looking bored,
Brutal.
but very comfortable. Julio jam all in.
Richard's got J Trey.
I think.
It's just,
I think at this point Richard's going to get dwindled down little by little.
I mean, it's
Julio
so
and Robbie
tough to
just-
call that.
I know, but Julio and Robbie just constantly attacking.
Right.
Look at the mountain of chips for Robbie. 77% of the chips in play.
All right. Julio's gonna get a free hand, and they say you get what you pay for, but not always. That's a pretty good free hand.
Oh, Julio's ace. Oh, Robbie on the big with
Queens. 2 ladies at the same time.
Robbie on the big with queen. Snap call.
Right, you can't
Oh,
fold
man,
that,
but look at-
obviously. Suited AJ.
I feel like it's been a while since we've seen a real cooler, and I don't think we've seen one all day.
5-5. Oh, and
Brick
no
City. And
bricks.
Robbie
So
has now
Robbie.
Taking out the one opponent who is going to push back on him.
Down to heads up. 2
Heads
ladies
up.
at the same time. Lucky
90%
guy.
of the chips. Richard has essentially folded his way to second place.
But Julio, for all of his aggression, he didn't have that big of a chip stack when we started. And he's going to walk out of here with $1,283
I mean, I like.
to be rewarded for his, right,
I like
his
Julio's
bold play.
I like
yes,
that
it was
he was not scared. I like that he was making moves.
a lot of the time I was like, what? Man,
he was fun to watch.
he was getting people to fold. He was hitting draws.
Yeah, definitely fun to watch.
Right, and I think he was 8th, 7th or 8th, somewhere in there. Well, we can get it on the replay. but-
Starting from
right,
the-
when we started,
yeah.
and then, hey.
Let's see. Richard has to double up what 3 times just to make a dent.
3? Oh, just to make a dent. Okay.
Just to
I
make
was
a
going to say,
dent.
not to catch up. I'm like, no, he's probably got to hit like 4,
More
5.
like 4 of them.
Well, maybe
1,
four. Yeah, 4 after
2,
after
then
that
he'd
hand.
have
Yeah,
like,
2.
he'd have
but-
like 450 if he doubles
Right.
up twice. Robbie would still have the slight chip lead.
Johnny
like
says,
six.
"I love you, Richie." I mean, Richie's been just kind of hiding in the weeds all game, and now he's here,
Yeah,
heads
Richie
up.
has quietly made his way to second place. He's been picking his spots pretty well.
Hasn't gotten much to work with,
Yeah,
frankly.
That's another reason why I like that Richard has gone here quietly. He hasn't had much worth it, but he's shoved all in some spots where he got people to fold and he
Right.
just picked up some blinds and antes to get this far. That's what you got to do.
No, Johnny, we're not going there.
Let's go to Cheetah. I'll see you
No,
there. I'll see you there.
No, I will never go to that place again.
It's been a long time since I went to Cheetah, but it's a fun spot.
Well, the bartender tried to steal my credit card.
Eh,
When you give the card to get a bar, I
It is a
said,
strip club.
And I'm like, well, it's one thing to maybe sneak an item on there or two for something, but to outright steal it,
blatantly steal.
right?
Well, now I get why you'd never go again.
No, I said I ain't going to this place again.
Never been to the one here in Palm Beach. Been to the one in
Yeah, there's one in Pompano.
Pompano,
I haven't
and
been
then
to that
there's one in Hollandale. The one in Hollandale was the one I used to go to. I used to live down in that area. Robbie's going to start attacking, bro. Especially when Richard limps. I think Robbie's going to attack
Yeah.
100% of the time.
You got to lean on him. I mean,
Yep.
it's obvious he's not going to shove unless he gets something like really good. So you got to just whittle him down.
I mean, I think
Wear him
Robbie
down.
also knows that Richard is mostly an all-in or fold mentality. So if Richard tries to limp in, then it just looks weak. Robbie is known to attack some weakness.
All right, Robbie. He didn't put his cards in the box. There he goes. Yeah, we should get him. No, we still don't get him.
Nope, we're going to sweat this one with Richard.
Jack 10.
gonna flat.
Heads
He's-
up.
This is the bottom of his range, I'll tell you that right now. Richard probably going to check it. Oh,
No,
he's
he's gonna- no,
shove.
no.
Nice. He really
You
is an
can't.
all-in
You
or
can't.
fold.
Yeah, you can't check there.
Yeah.
Not when you're down this much
Yeah.
in chips.
I mean, you really have nothing to lose if you're in Richard's position. You can really only have everything to gain. So, I think, and it's the same as when Robbie attacks Richard's limps. I think Richard has to also attack Robbie's limps.
All right, limpy, limpy. And no nada. So good news for Richard so far, but he's not betting it.
I mean,
That is a
Richard's
tactical
style-
error. You should not give
Richard's-
Robbie cards,
Richard's
free
style
cards. Ryan Ward says, "Hey guys, that's another daily. Well, it's not a daily. This is our Saturday night. Well, not Saturday night. Saturday day.
This is our daytime tournament.
Double green chip bounty tournaments, and you're here for heads up. It's Robbie with a lot of chips, and Richard hanging on. But even if I mean $1,843 minimum, Robbie just snap muck 7-4 offsuit. Richard's probably like, doggone it, I had a pocket pair there.
I would be so happy to be in Richard's spot.
Right.
Right.
Basically
No
folded his way
cards,
to $1,800 and change.
1,800 guaranteed. Nowhere to go but up.
We have no, and that kind of conservative play doesn't really lend itself to having a lot of bounty, but we don't know what happened from the start of the tournament
Right.
for when he got here. So
Might
he
have-
could have some bounty.
Oh, this could be it.
Ooh, yeah. Call it.
Look
I
at
mean, with
this
pocket
snap
pair,
call,
you
yeah.
gotta call.
Pair versus pair.
Trays versus fives. Big lead for Richard.
I think
but
Richard's
we'll
gonna
see.
hold. I feel it.
Oh,
Oh,
five in the window. 3 in the
Oh,
window. A 4
what
would
a
give.
cooler.
No, I wouldn't give it.
Set,
guess that's
they
it.
both hit. Wow. 5 in the
Set
window.
over set.
Wow. Number one double up for
Yep,
Richard. Robbie's
there's a
still
double
with-
up. I mean, still 3-1 in chips.
Yeah. Now the next one could hurt,
Right.
but
Another double up would be about even.
yeah, would be very close. Be like 460 to 550, something like that.
All right, ace-8 this time for Robbie. and he's just going to limp with it because he doesn't want Richard to fold. Richard,
Disguising.
yeah, 10-3. I mean, it's suited, but it's still not great. But we'll see what the flop brings.
A pair.
It brings a pair. Pair trays. Robbie picks up a straight draw.
3 threes. For
Three threes for
So we're gonna
Richard
check
and
it.
checks.
Yeah,
Yeah, he probably wouldn't have got any calls, even if he value bets there, but still. You don't want to hit 3 of a kind and not get anything for it. I probably value bet there, knowing he's
I
going
think
to
I'd
fold.
throw a
Yeah,
little
but I at least got to throw the value bet out there. Well, Ryan, don't give them ideas. All right, Richard with ace-queen this time. Robbie with 8-4. Ooh, and
Now
lamps.
Richard
Right,
definitely
Rob.
disguising the strength of his
Yeah.
hand. Queen in the window. I don't see
And-
Robbie
Yeah,
getting
no, it's king jack,
involved.
a duck, drawing dead.
Robbie might stab. No, he just check fold.
No,
He's in
he's-
check fold. Yep.
It's a really bad time to go card dead. Robbie's gotten some, aside from those threes,
Yep.
really hasn't gotten much to work with. Seven three, but it's suited, but not.
Robbie limp.
No, it looks
Or
like he
min click.
raised.
Him
Looks like he min raised.
min raised to 20. Richard, I think he got it.
Yeah, Robbie. Yeah, Robbie just thinks he wants clubs here.
Oh, that would be bad.
He really doesn't.
How about a 7-3 flop?
2
for
per
Robbie?
though, pretty freaking good. And it's not clubs. Don't get too excited, Robbie. He's not calling. He's not calling it. I don't think he'd call a $2 natty ice on that flop. 'Aces are always fun. Heads up. I wouldn't fold one.
She's been limping a lot.
Yeah.
Robbie is going to start attacking the limps.
I was going to say, you still got, I mean, he took a bad hit earlier, but you still got a big chip advantage. You got to start using it.
Richard just limp folds the ace-6.
Yep.
I think he doesn't want to get involved with big pot, mediocre hand.
Close to a 4-1 advantage again. All right, suited queen deuce from Robbie. He has no idea how strong that is.
You have your opponent dead at 3 hands?
Right. I'm like, no way for him to know that, of course.
Yeah,
But
Richard doesn't even want to.
if Robbie watches back, he'd be all like, oh, yeah, I had him crushed that time.
I feel like there's no reason for Robbie to go back on the video.
Right.
Maybe there was that
I'm just
one
saying,
hand.
that one hand, right, when he got pushed out with the all-in.
Yeah.
And
But
no,
he got the
I
best
was
of
going to
Julio
say,
in the end.
in the end, he did get the best of him. But Robbie was ahead, slightly. What was it? I think 54 to
It's-
46.
The numbers said 55-40. I think it was like a 60-40 flip. Everybody breaks. Hard on the turn.
Robbie's 10
No.
high is good. It's still good.
He's going to stab. He's looking like he wants
Is he
to
going to bluff
stab.
with the best hand?
Yeah.
He is.
Yep. Snap fold from Richard. And this is where Robbie and his aggression factor
Right.
will probably grind down Richard.
Yeah. When you're the short stack against an aggressive big stack like this, I mean, you have to answer the bell. It's like being back in the schoolyard. The bully's just going to keep sucker punching you and taking your lunch money until you stand up and throw a punch. Just limps this time. Richard with... See a free flop. Yeah.
Richard with a good shot.
Yeah, Robbie with the best
Checks.
hand with queen high.
Robbie just stabbing, I think.
Ooh, Richard, it's like, you will not be bullying me, good sir. Jackie, that's
Robbie
a 3.
gets there on
Robbie
the river.
gets...
Oh, no, he
well,
already
he
had
had it
this.
already with
Never
queen
mind.
high, but now he's got a pair.
No,
Ooh,
Richard gonna
remember when I
stab.
said
Interesting.
he has to answer the bell? Wrong time. Wrong time.
No, this might work. He might get
Given the
best
size
hand
of the
first.
pot, no, I don't think that was enough.
25 into 60, yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah, that's... Like, if he went like 100, that would probably work.
Robbie's not looking good. He's not looking happy about it. But we also have seen Robbie pick off some bluffs before.
Right, he's got the chips to
yeah.
call.
Good job, Robbie.
Yep,
Put
he's
two and
going to
two
call
together.
that a hero call. Doesn't even want... Richard didn't even want to show it.
I mean,
Yeah, he
Richard went to
folded, right.
muck, but it hit the dealer's hand, and so
Right.
it flipped
Well,
over.
that's why Robbie-
Robbie said, "Do I have to show my
Do
hand?"
I have... Right, it's always
But
good to get confirmation, but in
he-
this case, no.
Richard did muck. It just happened. They flipped up by accident. But I know Robbie would like to if he doesn't have to give away some free info.
Right.
I know.
Yeah, I totally get it. Ooh, Robbie's got him crushed again. They're both suited.
Richard limping. He's Richard
Suited
trying to see
jacks.
flops, but Robbie knowing that
Right.
can't let him.
It's
see
like
flops.
you're gonna pay.
Yep.
You want
Here we go.
just like at the Cheetah, no free shows. Gotta pay to see the goods.
Yeah.
Just don't give your card to the bartender.
Oh, Robbie. does have a
Diamonds.
flush draw. I thought maybe a jack high flop you would see some fireworks, but yeah, and there it is. Robbie whittling him down. Look at
Back
that.
under
Richard
100K
had
again.
Over 200 now. He's under 100.
Robbie's got a
Robbie's-
9-to-1 chip advantage.
So like even when Robbie whittles him down, if he doubles him up, it doesn't hurt as bad.
Right.
It stops. He's already stopped Richard from getting that 200K double up. If Richard doubles up again, it's going to put him back at the 200K mark. Robbie with the
Richard.
exact same hands.
Wow. Jack 10 suited against Richard's Nintendo offsuits. Oh, okay. I thought
Attacking.
Richard said all in
Yeah.
because I thought he just threw the one chip. Picks up
When?
big blind and an ante for free. And it's
Just-
getting
that was
critical
last week. I
for
was out of
Richard.
town.
92% is wild.
All right, Richard with a 69. Nice. Nice. Great South Park joke. I'm trying to think of a game where that hand does work. Doesn't work in blackjack. Poker, it's...
69?
Yeah. I'm not too familiar with Baccarat. Is it? Because face cards are worth 0? And,
you're trying to
yeah.
make a 9. Yeah, 69 wouldn't work.
No. Robbie with Jack 10. Not suited this time.
But he
Jack of
hasn't-
Diamonds is just like following him around.
It's true. All in.
All in. Richard's got a
Richard
suited
might-
king.
Might call here. He's only got 50K.
54 left behind his blind.
Oh, man.
Right. Like I said, I don't hate it. I mean,
Yeah. You gotta.
he is the favorite, but we'll see what the flop is.
Wow.
He gets a jack, but Richard's got 2 clubs.
Draw.
Gets a 7 and a
Clubs get
club.
there.
And the
Richard's
clubs
alive.
get there, yeah.
Robbie just can't seal the deal.
Just
Richard
down to his
hanging around,
last card.
hanging around. Well, now Richard's.
Well,
up
this
to like
double up
100.
doesn't hurt near as much as the last one.
Yeah.
The last one actually
He's at 80 now. What is that? So
made it close
160-ish.
to
No.
2-1 in chips. I'm gonna guess about 150, a little less than 150. Because I think he had like 70 something before that last hand, and he doubled up.
The ante.
Yeah.
Hey, he's got a little over 100. Might have 150. Robbie back to needing to whittle him down under 100. Yep.
Well, it's a good way to start. I
Richard
mean,
is not. He needs cards, man. Richard is not making moves without cards. Oh, I can't wait to eat.
all right. Robbie with the 10-9. Richard with a suited 9-5. What a way to make 11.
Richard folds.
So 144K.
defending,
I said
let's go.
a little south of
Yeah,
150.
Good call.
A little bit. To the flop.
And high.
I see a 9.
954. 854.
Oh no, it's a diamond.
So Richard hit a 5. Check the flop now. Ace on the turn.
Robbie's he's getting aggressive. Not the time.
Richard doesn't believe. 6 on the
6
river.
on the river. No help. I mean, Robbie, he has to overbet this and represent an ace. It's his only
He
chance.
decided to give up. He checked and give up. So now we have Richard up to 200.
Right. Still 4-1 in chips. Still
Yeah.
big advantage, but Robbie needs to get back to whittling.
I think he will. He's really good at picking his
Or
spots.
hit a cooler. Another suited 9-5 for Richard. Clubs.
Clubs for Richard. Not much for Robbie.
No.
Gonna bet. I
His
think
9
Robbie's
high is
gonna
ahead.
Get out of there. Yeah. The best hand with the only draw.
That's a bit surprising.
Right. I feel like Richard folded a lot of these
Right.
mediocre hands, but maybe it's time for him to. And he flopped a.
Wow, flops
open
a
hand
straight
flush
draw.
He
And
flopped
the
world.
flush draw. Wow.
Robbie with top pair is good enough for him to bet. I don't see Richard going anywhere with this flop.
No. Gotta play this draw.
He shoves.
All in. Richard with basically half the deck for
Yeah,
outs.
Look at that. 18 outs is crazy. He's got an overcard, open a straight, and a flush draw. Wow.
Well, he's asking for a count.
I mean, Robbie has the best hand, but he's not even ahead. Look at the 60-40 in favor of the guy with
and
9 highs.
Robbie has the winning hand at this point.
Yeah,
That's just
but he's not even ahead.
so
It's crazy
many
because
outs.
Richard has such good equity with that flop. That's crazy.
I mean, it's a chance to win the tournament right here. You
Yeah.
have top pair, so I can see why Robbie's taking his time thinking about it.
Well, he has top pair, but I know that if if he has any hands like 8-3, ace-3, 6-3, he's, you know, Robbie's pretty much dead. 2 pair, he's drawing slim. The tough spot. I feel like Robbie can get away from this one. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to let that one go.
Richard,
2-1 underdog.
Richard getting closer to 300K.
Uh-oh. One of our coworkers apparently brought food a little too close to the broadcast
Torturing me,
table.
bro. Torture. The chat's been talking about food. Matt's been
Right.
talking about food. I'm sitting
Food,
here
man.
starving. Now I got to smell Mike's food. Oh, my God. Bro, I'm dying. I'm dying.
Mike put himself in a pretty good position. I'm like, defensively, you can only really come at him from one angle, and he's going to see you coming from way over there.
Yeah.
So
I'm at a disadvantage here. Robbie back.
sometimes when you got a bunch of hungry jackals around your food, I mean, you got to think defensively. Good tactical thinking there. Because honestly, that's where my brain was going. Because I ain't ate all day, and I'm thinking, how could I get to? I'm like, no, that's such a bad spot. Now, if he was sitting there, I'm like, oh, I'll definitely get him.
I feel like a cartoon character, you know,
I
like
come up from behind, and I've got the
when you
reach. I can
start
just
to-
reach right over him. I don't
like a
even
cartoon
need to.
character smells food and then they start to like float in the air,
Right.
like following the smell of food. That's what I just did.
Yeah, that's just a cartoon. Yeah, nobody put pies on windowsills in my old neighborhood. No, those pies will be gone. They wouldn't even last a minute. It's got to be an up north thing, putting a pie on the windowsill. Because I'm like,
I
this
feel
is
like it's like
Florida.
a
They wouldn't even
19
cool off. They'd
like a
still, they'd
1930s
like,
thing, I
they'd
think.
still be hot. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
if it's too hot, put it in the fridge for like 5 minutes.
I feel like people don't do that anymore. It's like a 1950s.
Put it in the freezer for 2.
25?
Richard raised a button. Queen jack off. Robbie get offended it with 8-6. It's a pair. Oh, he's open-ended.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pair.
Yep.
Robbie open-ended. Richard
Open-ended.
missed. Bink. That's a pair for Robbie. There's the pair.
30?
Just a queen or a
He's gonna
jack.
bet. He's going to bet, putting Richard on some high cards that missed.
No, nada.
They're in summer mode and they could put me in a different tournament.
What do you got over there? That does smell really good.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
They don't have dealers to open the damn tournament.
He's ignoring me now.
He's-
He's all like, I don't want to talk about my
he's
food
locked
anymore.
in.
Don't- it's like, oh, wait, you freaking bums.
What do you got over there, chicken?
Nice.
That looks
Nice.
nice. I am so hungry, it's ridiculous. We'll figure it out.
So just south of 4-1. Chip advantage for Robbie.
Robbie's been sitting.
I mean, I
comfortably
can't do
all
like
day.
calculus in my head, but it's slightly less than 4-1. Probably like 3.95 to 1. And the players are not separated because they are logged into our system in specific seats, and that's where the card readers are and where they have to put their boxes. So we have to keep them in the same seat. We can't move them.
Yeah, that's true. They just whatever
We
seat
did-
they started the day
right.
with is where they're gonna end.
Yeah,
the tournament with.
we got that a lot in our early days of streaming
Yeah.
because we didn't move anybody. If the two players left were sitting next to each other, they're like, well, they're just sitting next to each other, and that's just life.
Yeah, because the way the software is and the way the table's set up, like that box that Robbie has his
Right.
cards on, it has to be. That's the
Yeah,
box.
we
it has to
could
be that
change it, but
box.
we pretty much have to
have
like
to-
stop the whole
we'd have to
thing and then
pause.
redo it
Yeah.
and then move the players, and it would be this whole thing.
In order to keep the flow of the game moving,
Yeah.
we just just do it this way because it's easiest for us. Maybe it's not the best for television,
Right.
but essentially the best thing would have if seat 2 or 3 was up against seat 8 or 9. That way they'd be on the opposite side of the
Yeah.
table. But these two guys gotta sit next to each other. It's just luck. Whoever is left is whatever seat they started in.
Raise to 20. All in.
I was gonna say,
Ooh. Nope.
well, they're looking at each other pretty good.
You just gotta call out.
Kind of seems like nobody's ready to give up here.
Right. Quitting is for quitters.
Richard limp. Robbie checks.
Two pair for Robbie. Robbie plays Nintendo. Why do I keep dropping that? Stay there.
Richard picks up a flush draw.
Minus
Robbie's going to bet his
Yeah.
two pair.
This could get very interesting.
Yeah,
He's not going to chase the
decides not
draw.
to- Yeah.
And Richard's back down under 200. Yeah, a little color up at this stage of the game. Well, we didn't put them that close together. Like, put them there. That's just where they started at the final table.
Right.
They just happen to end up that way.
And while it would look cleaner if they were separated,
It would look
it's
cleaner.
just like we said, we explained, and that the way the table and the software is set up, it's not an easy task for us to move players to different seats, different boxes. So we just
a good
kinda
example.
Keep the game moving and keep them in the.
Right. When we draw for final table, when we do a feature to final, sometimes we have to draw for final table. We do move players, but it's like a whole thing. We have to
Yeah.
stop the game,
Yeah.
clear a lot of the data,
We never claim to be
re-input it right around the table.
We're only
Right.
semi-professional. We're not exactly professional. Roast beef, ridiculous mode.
What is roast beef ridiculous mode?
I don't know, but it sounds delicious. 'cause
Right.
I'm
It
so
sounds
hungry.
fabulous.
Right.
Got roast beef in the oven.
Roast beef ridiculous mode.
Maybe there's a button on the oven.
I mean, I don't
Roast
cook.
beef ridiculous
I don't
mode.
cook in my house. I mean,
For
my wife
30.
does.
Roast beef ridiculous mode for 30 seconds.
I grill,
Hmm.
but I don't cook. I mean, and they are different.
I think I'm gonna make a pot roast tomorrow.
Will it be ridiculous mode?
I'm gonna put the crock pot has a ridiculous mode button. in it.
Okay, all right. Because if you don't know how it goes, like Google that, find out. So Robbie's not gonna quite be able to use the chip psychology method, even though he
Still
does have
got-
a 4-to-1 advantage.
Still got
but-
a mountain of chips. He still got that stack of
Right.
yellows. Now the yellow chips just came
yeah,
into
but he had
play.
like
Those
he
are
had like
worth-
5 stacks of.
he had a mountain
of
of chips.
yellow,
He had literally
right.
a mountain of chips. He still has 840, 830. Stack of yellows is 500K right there.
So do they like? Hang on.
Take a 5-minute break. Is that what they did?
Like where they take the bets behind there, and there's nobody there. I'm like, oh yeah, so I took it and put it in the office where we sit.
I'm actually not sure what they did.
It's cool up there, but it's not as
I
cool
think
as
it
Well, now I,
was.
got, I mean, my clock was frozen, but
I think it was. I think it was a. Remember that this clock and that we're living.
Yeah, I know, it's 15 minutes.
in the past, but I think this was a break, an
okay.
actual break in the tournament, and then they decided to take a bathroom break. I know Robbie said I got to go to the bathroom. They did the color up. I'm sure we'll be back here in any minute.
That's something I never thought of when I went to play my first multi-day tournament. It's like I didn't think about fluid intake. Like if I get the heads up, I'm saying, man, that's gonna be a real problem.
I mean, usually when I make it this far in a tournament, you're fueled on coffee and adrenaline. But yeah, but when you finish a long day of poker, your head hurts, you're starving. It's kind of like how
No,
I
that's
feel
you.
right now.
Well, me too, but
Kind of like how I feel right now.
at least I had coffee this morning.
Yeah, that's just because these guys want to. I know Robbie don't want to give him 1,000.
I could have swore that.
I think normally he would, but I don't think that guy.
He doesn't want to, right?
I don't know if he necessarily wants to, but he's not a full regular, so
Robbie will if it's a good, you know what I'm
he's
saying?
a regular guy that he knows. Yeah.
You know what we need? Ashley, the Destroyer. Shortest show we ever did.
Is that
Final
what she's
table
known
just
for?
like this. The show lasted 45 minutes.
That's hilarious. It was from full final table to
No
finish?
chop.
Yeah, that's wild.
Set over set. She dealt one hand where it was low straight, middle straight, high straight.
Oh my goodness.
All
gracious.
ins. They were falling.
Call her the Terminator.
Right. Well, she destroyed the table, hence the nickname. That's all Josh, I remember, was not pleased. He's all like, why is the show over already? I'm like, you'll never just
You should
watch
have
the
seen it."
replay. I said, Ashley just demolished everybody.
That would have been a good one to get a bunch of highlights from.
It was a highlight. It was nothing but highlights. They just, like I said, start to finish, 45 minutes. Ashley had 30 of them.
So give the guy 2,000 and get out of here. So if the guy's bitching about the money, give him 2,000, 150 extra, and let's get the fuck out.
Right, and then Josh watched the replay. He's all like, wow, it's like legit. And then like weren't like pieces of the show missing
I've
or
never
nothing
seen it.
malfunctioned. He's like, it was legit 45 minutes. It was just carnage.
I've yet to see a show like that. That sounds interesting. Nothing but action for 45 minutes and then it's over.
Right.
4% of the chip. Oh, I don't know.
It was like 45 minutes of just coolers.
I'll
That's
do
it.
5
Sick.
or 6%.
Bring your parka.
That's
There's
my
so many
type of
coolers
show, yeah.
to that show.
That's my type of fun right there.
I mean, I'm half cheesehead. Now, even I was like, man, this is too many coolers for me, man. I should have brought my coat.
I'm pretty sure they were going to.
El Chava?
Yeah.
Oh,
Chava?
Yeah.
What do you want? What do we do?
You can just pay us just like regularly. First,
y'all take care of
second,
it? Okay.
and then I'll give him.
Bounties. What do you do with
tell
bounties?
Robbie now saying they're making
He's
a
had
deal.
enough.
They're
He's
making a
like, let's
deal.
just go. All right, what do I do with my?
Congratulations, guys.
They're making some sort of deal. We
So
just can't hear
if-
what it is.
If I heard correctly, I think I heard it. Because he's got such a big chip lead, Robbie is just going to take first place money, which is $2,981. And then Richard will take the second place money for $1,843. But as an extra, the benefit for the chopping, Robbie is going to give Richard his bounties. And that's
don't
the
know
part
how
I
many
didn't
it
hear.
is,
I didn't
yeah.
hear how many he had, but obviously the deal was worth it to Richard because he took it instantly.
I'm sure it was a couple $100, maybe $200-300 bucks. Who knows? Could have been $300-400 bucks.
Right.
Who knows?
I have no idea.
Could have been anything. But
Right. There was a total of $2,050 in this bounty tournament. Each one was $50.
yeah,
So even if Robbie only had, And
Two,
I
three,
think
four,
he
five
had
of 'em.
I think he had 3 here at the final table,
Could have been
plus whatever he got on his way to the chip lead.
Could have been anywhere from 200 up to 400. Who knows?
Right. So
Everybody wins.
right. Especially the viewers.
Uh-huh.
All right. As soon as I put my shades back on, that is.
Well, I believe
All right,
that's it
that's
for
going
us.
to bring our action this evening to an end. Thanks everybody for tuning in and hanging out and talking with us. Remember, like, follow, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And that's how Josh jumps into the chat. He says, "Nice." I would say when our next broadcast is, but I haven't seen the schedule for next week, boss. So I want to say it's going to be Wednesday.
I think we'll be back to our
Right, for our regular
scheduling
Wednesday,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday next week.
deep stack tournament, but I don't know for sure. But that's why you hit like, follow, subscribe, and the notification bell. So even if I'm wrong, when we go live, you'll know about it, and you can hang out with us again, which we certainly hope you do. Congratulations to all our players, particularly Robbie and Richard, taking home first and second. And until next time, this is Matt F. along with...
See you guys later. This is Andrew.
All right.
We love you in the chat. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Until
Yeah.
next time.
Yes, exactly. Until then, good night from West Palm Beach.